Yo, we're live. We're a little late, but we're live. What? Yo!
Yo. We're live, yo.
Yo!
Yo. We're here.
That could be played for Catania, yeah?
Jeez, John.
Damn, dude.
That's just mean.
I love you, old Yeller. Lord. Man, a lot. Yes. The sad saga of 75 years worth of history has just gone down the drain as Catania has been officially pulled from league competition in Serie C. So essentially, they missed the potential new buyer, a man by the name of Mancini, an entrepreneur out of the Lazio region, was supposed to buy the club last week, and they said, "Oh, you missed. This guy didn't show up to the courthouse with money for the deed. It's done for." And he calls up and says, "No. I've got the money on Monday, baby. I've got the money on Monday. You stop, Sean Vergara. We're not getting the Bentner. Not yet, anyway."
It's too early for Bentner.
Yeah, it's too early. It's too early. And
This is actual news and history that we're discussing.
And
it is Sean's birthday, but it's Sean's birthday though.
Okay.
But not Bentner. It's not that good of a birthday to get Bentner this early. No. Sorry, Sean.
Sorry, Sean. But when he promised he was going to come Monday, there was still a glimmer of hope. And when he did not show today, shocking, the club went up in smoke. There was the Liga Pro reached out to the FIGC and said, "Please, can you front them the money? Can you somehow find a way to allow them to finish the competition?" And the FIGC said, "No, they're out. Sorry." They have 60 million euro in debt, and it's years and years and years of mismanagement that have finally taken their toll, and the club is going all the way down to the cellar, essentially like down to the amateur division to start over again. They have a wonderful stadium. They have devoted diehard fans. Cutting the footage together for my trip to the game is now far more bittersweet than it was originally going to be, because there was still hope that a buyer would come in and get the club. But 60 million euro in debt makes it a toxic asset, and nobody's buying a club that you're already 60 million in the hole with. So
yeah, you're almost better starting over, sadly.
Right, and that's what Joe Tacopina wanted to do. You can love Joe Tacopina or hate him, but he said, "Look, declare bankruptcy, go down to the amateur divisions. I'll buy the club, and I will get them back up. I have a history of doing this. I can do it. It's not a problem." And Catania's ownership said, "No, we don't want you to do that. We're not declaring bankruptcy. We can get it done." No, you can't. And so now they're all the way back down. And why is this so sad? Because this is a club where essentially for one period of time, they were like little Argentina in Serie A. They had just a ton of Argentine talent come through that pipeline. And they were one of the clubs that made that along with Palermo, that really brought this sort of energy and fire to the club to Serie A, of these smaller clubs coming in and competing and having a really tough atmosphere to come play in. So very sad day in the world of Calcio. Sean, are you already leaving? It's your birthday evening. You're bouncing already. He's like, "Man, I got stuff to do. I'm getting out of here." Okay.
Said my hi, saying my bye. I'm out the door.
Yeah, he said Spurs finishing top 4.
John, you are the England expert. Why don't you tell us?
That's it. Well, that was pretty good to keeping that one as prolonged as possible.
England expert.
Yeah.
Come on. What's going on? Are Spurs going to finish top 4?
Right now I would lean that way, considering what we've seen over the last.
You're not getting off the fence, but you're going to lean that way.
I'm going to lean off the fence, yeah. And if I fall,
no, you're still on the fence, but you're leaning.
Are you choosing the draw?
I'm choosing the draw. The only
you are.
Yeah, the only reason I'm saying that is because Arsenal still has a match in hand, and that's really the only reason right now. But considering how Tottenham have played, winning their last 4, and Arsenal having lost 3 of their last 4, I am in the Tottenham lean position to make the number 4.
That's not very convincing.
For me?
It's still not convincing. I mean, we don't have a scale of convincing.
I thought we had, as long as John's not picking a draw.
You basically did. I mean, you basically did.
I'm on the fence, but
I'm leaning one way.
Well, like
from the fence.
Got a handful of matches to go. And the next one for Spurs is Brighton, so it's one that they should take care of. Next one for Arsenal is Southampton, and God, they should take care of that one considering the egg that Southampton laid last week.
Okay, so then Spurs are still 3 points up.
Right. And like I said, it's going to come.
But then what?
Jesus, Mary and Ever-Loving Joseph. Let me check.
I'm trying to get you to make a pick. I'm trying to get you to pick this out. Pick something.
Sean needs
be
this.
Strong.
He's going to listen to the recording tomorrow, and he's going to be like, my God in heaven, John, make the pick.
All right, so let me get the rest of the remaining schedule up here.
So Arsenal's at Southampton. They should win that. Arsenal's at Chelsea. I don't think they win that. I don't think they get anything out of it. Arsenal hosts Manchester United. I think they win that.
Yep.
Arsenal at West Ham.
Yeah. I think they get something out of that one.
Arsenal at West Ham, 5 versus 6. Why are you so strong that Arsenal gets something out of that? I'm confused. You're taking a strong section here that doesn't make as much sense. I don't know what's happening, John.
David Moyes at the end of the year never really convinces.
There you go. Fair enough. Arsenal hosting Leeds, Jesse Marsh.
Mash.
I don't know. That one could cause a little chaos. I think Arsenal gets the Duke there, but it could be a little chaotic.
Then Arsenal's at Tottenham on May 12th.
Oh, no. So we will go with Tottenham on.
Well, then why are you on the fence if you're so strong that Tottenham's going to beat Arsenal in a head-to-head?
And then Spurs.
Make your pick. Make your pick. Take your stand, John.
Fine. All right. Tell you what. Here's what I'm going to do.
You can't do it after all this. Just make a pick. What are you doing?
I'm taking a stand, sir.
You're knocking things over, John. You can't even take a stand without breaking something.
That's correct. So, and Tottenham also finishes their season with Burnley and Norwich. So let's go Tottenham there. Happy birthday, Sean.
Lemon eyes.
Yeah, I'm going to fix everything that just broke.
Lemon eyes to fix John's picking apparatus.
I don't know about that, but you might have to fix what just fell off the piano.
Well, maybe they can clean it, at least. How much stuff did you knock down, John?
Two photos in our sponsor banner.
How did you knock stuff off behind you?
Was this via dramatic pick when you went to go, I'm going to make a statement, and you knocked everything back?
Yeah, I make a stand and everything falls off.
Everything falls off.
That's how it happens. I'm taking a stand or making a stand.
I have no idea what's happening.
The stand broke. So there you go. That's
he can't make a stand anymore because things will fall over.
Yeah, I can't. I honestly can't.
That's why he picks a draw.
Pretty much, because that way everything stays on. Well, now I know why the thing fell apart.
Why did it fall apart, John?
Well, because, all right, so on the back of this, as beautifully provided by the Flood Project and Scott Flood. Okay,
yes.
So
you broke it.
Well, because it was behind the piano in and of itself, it had lost its.
You broke it.
Well, no, because it was put behind. I didn't break it because when it was put behind the piano, it was basically it went back to flush instead of being expanded, and so I've had to re-expand it. And that's what the problem was. It's supposed to go like this, but it was like that.
So you didn't break it.
I didn't.
But you didn't figure out how to set the cardboard sign up.
Apparently so. Yes.
You were just leaning it up against stuff.
Well, yeah, and I thought that I had opened the window. I had opened up the gull wings behind it to where it wouldn't fall, and apparently I didn't. And so usually I wrap it around that first photo, and then it's usually okay. And now that we've wrapped it around the photo, apparently with the gull wings open the way they should be, hopefully for the remainder of the show it will stay, and then if it falls down, it falls down. Basically, yes. So to wrap that up, Spurs will finish fourth.
Okay.
Happy birthday, Sean.
Okay. I have no idea where to go from that, but I'm going to try to find something. Wow.
Yes, in Badgermon, it is origami down here with me. That's
basically
yes,
yeah.
That's what happened.
Yeah.
Arsenal has a game in hand, and Spurs still have to go to Anfield. That's
Anfield.
Arsenal +6.
Nah, but Arsenal loses at Spurs, so it's
Arsenal loses at Spurs.
Yeah.
It's done.
Let's talk Argentina, says Coke.
They have VAR now, and it's not going so well.
Oh, God.
I'm shocked.
It's not going so well. They also, to add to the idiots in the stands section of the show, Mondays with morons. You had it at Atletico Tucumán on Friday night. I was watching Tucumán, and you had a very controversial situation that VAR had to try to deal with, and it took forever. It was a tricky one, but it took forever as they're trying to figure this out. It didn't go Tucumán's way, and the fans threw it's an old stadium that is made of concrete, and they threw a chunk of the concrete onto the field. It was a pretty big chunk. The referee held it up for everybody to see. It looked pointed and stuff. Not good. Not good at all. That was not all, by the way. Then there was another incident not long after that. There was like 500 minutes of stoppage time in this game because of all the chaos. Part of the chaos was fans throwing something and hitting the AR in the temple, and you could see the mark on his head. And they should have left. The ref should have called it at that point. He didn't. They did finish the game, but it was embarrassing, and this stuff has to stop. But they threw a chunk of the stands, a chunk of concrete. They tore up their own stadium and threw part of it on the pitch. That's a new level of moron.
Well, we're talking about a place where one time they cut open the fence and threw an actual toilet at the.
That was the Newell's fans, yes. Not in their own stadium.
Not in their own stadium.
That was at a Copa Argentina match, which was in a neutral venue. So I can't remember which neutral venue it was. It wasn't the home team or the visiting team. It wasn't either of the teams that were playing. It was somebody who wasn't even involved in the match who had to replace the toilet.
Yeah.
Because it got chucked onto the field.
What was crazy, it was like watching like army ants try to like break through something. And you could see like the first line broke the fence open, and then you could see like the second line come through with the toilet.
I don't know what's going on with the audio in this. It's crazy.
I have no idea.
Yes, you can search for Newell's Old Boys and toilet, and it's not hard to find. It's like the second one. You can get the YouTube of it. Copa Argentina match called off after fans throw toilet parts onto the field. It was Newell's Old Boys and Villa Mitre, who is not a large team by any stretch. And I think it was 2019. I think Newell's ended up losing in a game that they shouldn't have, and their fans didn't take it very well. They chucked toilets. I think they actually took people's trophies as well and chucked them onto the field, if I remember right.
It was like an old ECW episode.
So a toilet goes flying and hits the corner flag.
New Jack would have been happy. Yes.
The cops got the hoses out and started spraying the Newell's fans who were out of control.
Yeah.
Trying to see where this was.
Yeah, because I'm trying to find it myself, and all I found so far is Newell's and Villa Mitre. I haven't found the location.
Again, all you had to do was search for Newell's Old Boys and toilets, and you find it. It was not a difficult search.
No.
It's like 30 seconds, and that clip is just them throwing or spraying the fans after a toilet goes flying and hits the corner flag. Absurdity.
Yeah.
Absurdity. Morons. Absolute morons. It's got to stop.
I understand. Look, everybody went through this when VAR first came in, right? Like, how long does it take to get a call? How are we sorting this? I get it. Concrete does not need to be a part of this equation.
No. Hitting ARs in the head. No, not good.
No.
Not good.
No. Nothing good comes from pelting people with concrete. Just
Let's not have that anymore, please. And when it happens, it will be mentioned on the Mondays with Morons segment of Soccer Over There.
Yeah. You're right, Coco. You think VAR already being a few years old that Argentina could have avoided it all. Avoid the rough start. Yeah.
So when you search VAR in Argentina, just to get a sense of this, the Newell's English account, which is not a official account, it took 4 minutes for VAR to verify that goal after it went in. So now we're playing 5 minutes of injury time. That was the first week of VAR. We've had the second week now, and it got somehow worse. It's not good. And yes, you should be able to adapt it a lot quicker at this point. I think the biggest issue that I've seen everywhere it's been introduced is it's like a new toy. And the referees don't necessarily know where to draw the line in when to get involved with VAR. And they overuse it at first, and they're not efficient with it. So it's overused and it's slow. And that's a problem in a place where they throw toilets on the field before you even have VAR. It's not a good combination.
Correctamundo.
So hopefully this stuff can get sorted out. But yeah, it's not good. It's not good at all at this moment.
That's right. That's 100% right. Yeah. The Netflix has the Calciopoli scandal doc on. Yeah. It's and why is Juve allowed?
I've seen the documentary.
Yeah. Why is Juve allowed to operate still? It's a great question that a great many people have been striving to answer for so long. It's just one of those things. Money is the magical answer there. You have to understand that Juve operates from a couple of unique tiers of power and prestige. One is that Juve really, when you go back to the fact that the Agnellis had such a grip on the economy of northern Italy for so long, they really did have all the fingers in all the right pies. And two, they also had, we're getting the audio feedback still. I don't know what the heck's happening with that.
I don't know. I don't know if it's one of you who have broken the stream.
It's the Juve secret police who
it could be.
Get the helicopters coming in. And not just that, but when you had that kind of money and power and influence in politics, you had the ability to make a lot of phone calls and at least get your team a reduced sentence, which was being relegated to Serie B. And so, no, they didn't. Oh, no. And here's the thing. Milan's hands were not completely clean in this either. And I think that's very important to state.
Who all was not clean? Because wasn't it a few?
I want to say it was Juve, Milan. I want to say Fiorentina had a hand, which was really wild. And Inter, believe it or not, was the cleanest of the bunch, which was mind-bending. But they were. And you have to call it how it is. I would be doing everyone here a disservice if I didn't put this out there as accurately as at least I recall. And the Inter was one of the teams that there was an initial spotlight put on them that ended up nothing of fruition came to that. But Juve and Milan were the ones who were really putting in money, who were really buying people off, getting caught on wiretaps. And it is what it is. But Juve took it to a whole new level. Juventus, for a long time, from the time that they were owned by Senatore Agnelli, they were the power team. They were Italy's team. They were the backbone of the Italian national team. They were the team with all the prestige globally. And when Gianni Agnelli took over, that he wanted to make sure that kept up and continued. But Juve fell on hard times, and it was, when big power boys fall on hard times, they call in favors. And when favors dry up, they at least call on cover. And so by calling in, trying to get cover, and what was initially not even they didn't initially get busted on match fixing. They got busted by wiretaps that were supposed to be for like steroids and like performance enhancing drugs, and they got caught in this. And now it's, you know, they go down for they had the right team for this, because when they got relegated down to Serie B, almost all of the main power players stayed. The exception was Fabio Cannavaro, who said, "I'm out." Yep. And when he came back later on, they referred to him as the Snake, and he got booed out of the building in Turin. So I mean, hey, you know, I don't blame him, but it was.
Thuram and Zlatan also left.
Yeah. And which is why Zlatan was never, you know, he was always booed out of the building whenever he came back. Lilian Thuram, yeah. But, you know, you had a lot of guys who, you know, including Buffon and Del Piero. And
I remember Del Piero.
Yeah, and you know, you had a lot of guys who stayed, and they said, we're going to stay and we're going to get Juve back to the top, and they treated it like a concert tour. They went everywhere they went. They played first team lineups, and it was something where, you know, that it was really appreciated by the Serie B fans. You know, you show up at Arezzo with Gigi Buffon and Alessandro Del Piero and all these guys who just won the World Cup. It became it became an event, and because of this, they gained a lot of respect throughout Italy as a result of that. But it's also the reason why I hate Juve more than I hate Inter, because I can respect Inter as an opponent, right? And plus, when you know the full history of Inter and Milan, you learn kind of like, all right, yeah, Inter kind of got hosed in the very beginning, you know, by way of their founding. But yeah, Inter was. I will use the Pat Van Dye is it the Pat Dye of Auburn, and the great there's a 30 for 30 with SMU, where he says no program is lily white, no program is completely clean. And
Ron Meyer, we basically run an honest program. We run basically an honest program.
That's right. And so you know, I will use Pat Dye's words for Inter. No program's literally white. However, they were the cleanest of the bunch, and so they were awarded the Scudetto, and it's been challenged by you know, Moggi and the rest of the crew from Juve. Oh, it was the stolen championship. It should have been us. We've been exonerated and we've been proven innocent. It's like, no, you haven't. Shut up. But look, the same things are happening now through the parent company Exor, because Juve is a subsidiary of a conglomerate. This, I think, now ran out of the Netherlands, called Exor, by Gian Agnelli's grandchildren, that they can move debt like a shell game and spread load it. And it really is an advantage that no one else has. And respect to them. Good job for finding the loopholes that they do. If you remember, not too long ago, the Guardia di Finanza, the policing group that is the last group in Italy you ever want to be on the bad side.
Italian taxman.
When they go to bust the mafia, they send Guardia di Finanza in, because Guardia di Finanza, all it is, you know, they are the ones who will dot every I, cross every T. They are the ones who, you know, you could try to corrupt him. You're just going to get a longer jail sentence. And Guardia di Finanza has been raiding Juve for allegedly paying payments under the table, you know, to try to dodge financial fair play.
Secret agreements with Ronaldo.
Yeah, secret agreements with Ronaldo. And there are a lot of people who are like, aha, here we go. Nothing's going to come of it. Nothing is going to come of this. They can raid every office of Juve and Exor. They can find photos of Agnelli, clubbing someone with a cricket bat. Nothing is coming of this. Nothing. Because they know the right people in the right places, and they're protected from on high by the devil himself, and nothing at all is going to come. They're the Kaiser Soze of world soccer, because you can't. They escape. They're all-time Houdini escape artists. Good for them. But
they didn't in Calciopoli. Now
no,
they did
not.
get relegated.
They
did get a huge fine.
It should have been worse though for them. Really, with Calciopoli.
Yeah,
they should not have gone down to Serie B. They should have been relegated down to like Serie C, Serie D.
Yeah, they weren't going to go that far, unfortunately.
Yeah.
A couple, check out the documentary. I need to watch it again because, I remember when everything happened, but I don't remember all the details. I didn't know all of the details at that point. Mm-hmm. There were 5 clubs that ended up with some form of punishment from the Italian FA. Milan was never supposed to be relegated. They had a point deduction. Fiorentina was supposed to be relegated. They were not. They had a large point deduction. Mm-hmm. Juve was supposed to be relegated, and they were. And they had a points deduction, and they had a €75,000 fine, and they were stripped of a title.
Yep.
Lazio was supposed to be relegated. They were not. They had a minor points deduction. And Regina was not supposed to be relegated, but they ended up with a pretty severe punishment as well in terms of points. So,
right.
And then there was more stuff like in later developments that it came out that it probably should have been even more teams that at some form or fashion, club officials from Chievo, Cagliari, Empoli, Palermo, Vicenza, Brescia, Inter, Udinese, and Livorno all illegally contacted referee designators. So this should have went even further.
Right.
But anyway, check out the documentary. Definitely one to watch, and maybe we will have a chat about this on a separate episode.
Look, I have no problems in saying that Italy made a deal with the devil for that 2006 World Cup because they without Calciopoli, I don't think Italy's getting that. And you have to understand something about Italy. And my cousin made the joke of it when we were out at dinner one night, and I was trying to pick up the tab for dinner. And he's a cop, and he was like, no, absolutely no. He's like, no, it's not happening. And the owner of the restaurant came by and told me directly, he's like, I'm not taking your money because I know what this guy's going to do if I take your money. And my cousin leans into me, goes, Italy's run on the black market. Your money's no good here. And so, and it just is. It's the way it's one of the things that I personally love about the country is that it's a country built on relationships. Like who do you, not what you know, not who you know, it's who knows you. And so, it's you're going to find every way to get forward, however you can. And if you're Livorno, you know what's going to happen to you if you go under. At Palermo, you know what's going to happen if you go down to Serie B. If you're Regina, if you are Cagliari, you know what's going to happen. The minute you go to Serie B, you're stuck in a knife fight in a telephone booth. And there's no guarantees you're going to come back. And in the time when Serie A was being ran by billionaires, mid-2000s, you were starting to get to the tapering off of the Italian multimillionaires and billionaires who ran the clubs. You had to find every advantage you could. Everybody knew Juve was buying off refs. You watched games, and you would see where the Montari goal, prime example, where the ball clearly crosses the line, and no goal. Nothing to see here. How many times Juve, it was Juve time. You had Fergie time in the Prem. You had Juve time in Serie A, where you would get these miraculous penalties out of nowhere. It's like, how in the hell did that happen? The player didn't even go down. The ball flew 15 yards away because the guy was a pristine tackle. Nope. Point to the spot. Juve's got a penalty. They're walking out of here with a draw. If you walked out with a draw against Juve, You count your lucky stars, not because the players were the absolute best, but because you knew that the refs let you get away with one. Maybe Milan had bought off, thank God, a line. A second official, so that way we can at least get some offside calls ignored. If you watched People Inzaghi, you probably know there were more than a few that got let go. The guy, as Fergie said, he was born in the offside position, right? I mean, he would be offside, scoring a goal off his butt, and hey, whatever, play stands. So it really is. It was this wild, corrupt, crazy place, and Italian business has been run like that for a long, long time. When Gianni Agnelli and Fiat ran into financial trouble, you learn this on the HBO doc Agnelli, which I think is a must watch if you are remotely curious about Italian history, the years of lead, how Agnelli and the U.S. government, you can hate him all you want. Henry Kissinger has a few telling statements about Agnelli. He said, "I was afraid to think in the room with Agnelli because he was so good at picking up cues that you would think something and he was on it. He knew exactly where you were before you could even say anything." But Agnelli had to make these shady deals, and he hired this Sicilian banker, and the guy and the people from Fiat are like, money would just appear. Like, we didn't know how these deals would happen, and yet somehow the finances would be level, and we'd be like, how the hell is this even happening? And one guy comes in, and he's wearing this, probably one of the greatest suits I think I've ever seen constructed. And you could tell he's Northern Italian the minute he shows up on screen, and he's like, this man was fundamentally Sicilian. Like, it was like the greatest insult he could levy at this guy. Was that he was fundamentally Sicilian. The money just appeared. And so then when that kind of hit the skids, then Agnelli went and found money through Gaddafi. And Gaddafi in the Libyan government was an investor in Fiat for a while. So finding back doors and back channels, and even some that were less than agreeable to reach a level of success, was not unheard of for the Agnelli family. And because of the fact that he kept the communists at bay post-World War II, he really enjoyed a level of protection in the North. And he drove a Fiat with a Ferrari motor in it, not bulletproof. The four card, it's called Agnelli, so that's the name of the documentary on HBO Max. But he survived the years of lead when you had presidents ending up dead in trunks, when you had company leaders being assassinated. Agnelli survived. That's not an accident that he survived that. It's because he knew the right people in the right places, and he knew how to avoid trouble. And so, yeah, that's how Juve survived. And that's how they continue to survive. Those lessons got passed on. They didn't get passed on to Agnelli's direct children. Unfortunately, his son took his own life. But his grandchildren picked up the lessons. And, you hear from Elkan, and you hear from some of the other Agnellis. Those lessons were picked up and they were ran with. So the whole history of Juve and how they have sort of had this sort of ironclad grip on Italy for so long, it really is fascinating when you think of Calciopoli and you think of all these other things that they've been tied up with. But yeah, I saw one of the comments before. Our Serie B teams like EFL Championship teams, and they will all leverage everything to try to get one run to get up to Serie A. Yes and no. There is not.
You don't have like the parachute payment situation.
Correct.
So that's a big thing that like makes England in the championship, and when teams bounce down.
Yep.
That's a big factor that other leagues don't have. I think when people, and it's really frustrating when people who are purely England fans, and they talk about pro rel, and they think that part of pro rel includes that parachute payment. No, right. Pro rel has nothing to do with the parachute payment.
No.
That's something that England set up. That's great. It's a good help for those teams.
Right.
But it also creates that moment of desperation when that parachute payment's going to run out. Other leagues don't have that.
No. And really with Italy, you see it. If you get relegated out of Serie A, the likelihood of you bouncing right back up is extraordinarily slim.
You don't have the money that gets infused to keep guys.
Nope.
Everybody leaves.
Yep.
And then you're having to start from scratch at a lower level, and it's really hard to build a team that can compete.
Right. And you're in a country that does not believe in playing youth talent. Playing a 22-year-old is considered shocking. So who is this player that you are playing? They say, what is it? 22? Oh, good God, no, man.
He's a baby.
He's a baby. You are playing. What is this Primavera you are playing? Oh, good God. No, but you can't. It really is. It's a situation where you have. Yeah, how do these Serie B teams build if they make no money and they don't play youth? Yeah.
When's the last Serie B team you've seen come up and actually do anything?
Right. And none of them really. I mean, it's what you have is you have players who get found by Serie A teams. And I'll use this. Luca Moro is a prime example. Luca Moro is a player who is with Padova, who is in Serie C. Young, he's on like the Italian U22 national team. And he got Ricky Ricardo. We started late, so you're fine. Don't worry.
You're good, Ricky. We'll get into picks of the week in about 20-30 minutes.
Right. And so because he needed playing time, Italy,
I'm going to grab a cerveza.
Sure. And Italy believes in the internship system where you go down to Serie C, Serie B to get your to cut your teeth. Luca Moro got sent down to Catania to play, where he lit it up for Catania. Now Catania's gone bankrupt, and he's got to go back to Padova. Now Sassuolo is trying to buy him to bring him in. Sassuolo is one of the teams who doesn't mind playing youth players. But if you are a Serie B team, you're trying to find those Serie C players who aren't getting playing time with Serie A squads, where they're stacked at striker or they're stacked at midfield, and you can buy those players cheaply. And then you can hope to incrementally work your way up. All you're trying to be is stable. The most stable team survives in Serie B and works their way up. And then you get the Serie A. You get the Serie A. You hope to be, infused with a little bit of talent here or there, and maybe you stay up for a season or two. Now, all you're trying to do is have a low enough debt to income ratio where an American corporation comes in and buys you. That's the new thing. We want to be marketable enough so somebody will come in and buy. Will come in and buy and lift your fortunes, hopefully. So how did Vlahovic stay at Fiorentina for so long? Yeah, it's the same thing. Unproven talent, which is mind-bending. He should have been gone from Fiorentina a long time ago. However, Rocco Commisso wanted to try when he brought in Italiano as the manager, he wanted to try to build up Fiorentina to be more than just a mid-table team. And he wanted to make Fiorentina very dangerous to compete for Europa League. Once you're in Europa League, then you try to get in the Champions League. And once you're in those top 5-6 spots, you're in the sweet spot for Serie A. Because then you're going to get some sort of European competition to help at least get the mid part of your roster handled. But Vlahovic was somebody who, he's a Juve fan. He always wanted to go to Juve. But Rocco wanted to hang on to him for as long as he could. It just is what it is. That's why he was able to stay for so long. The management changes helped. Rocco Commisso playing hardball definitely helped. And so that's why he was able to move on. Now, Commisso is discovering, and I understand he left Italy when he was 12 and he considers himself to be an Italian. He made his money in America.
He's not considered to be an Italian. He considers himself.
He considers himself to be Italian. In Italy, he's not considered to be Italian, and it's unfortunate, but it is what it is. And Camiso is hitting the same red tape that every American owner in any of the Italian pyramid are hitting. We're going to have a new stadium. No, you're not. The only person who has any traction on any sort of stadium update is Parma, right? That's it. And that's because he's not trying to build a new stadium. He is trying to refurbish it. And if Camiso was smart, he would do the same thing in Florence because they're not building his ass a new stadium.
Yeah.
You know, in the U.S., if you want to build a new stadium, hey, either we build the stadium or I'm moving the team. And then the taxpayer dollars come in, they build it. In Italy, it's different. In Italy, the cities own the stadiums. It's a revenue driver for the cities. They don't want to release that. So they're not going to just turn the stadium over. Again, this is where Juve is different because
who's built a new stadium in the last decade in Italy?
That's right. Because
there's like one.
Because the Agnelli say we own Fiat. They were the only team that had leverage enough to do this. We own Fiat. I don't care if we're moving factories to Poland. If you play hardball with us, we'll play hardball with Fiat. And Exor can do that because we're Exor now. We're not just Fiat. We don't have little mushroom factories all over the north. We're Exor. We're a conglomerate. Play ball. And Turin's like, yeah. You can build a new stadium. That's no problem, boss. Just build a new stadium right over there. It's great. We're not sharing with Torino. Yeah. No, Torino. Stupid Torino. I think it can stay there. Rotten dump. And so Juve has their way. And Juve builds a state-of-the-art stadium. It looks like something out of the Premier League. The sight lines are fantastic. The stands are right there at the side of the pitch. And so, you know, that's what happens when you have leverage. And American business leaders who have ideas. America's a country of ideas. If you have idea and financial backing, anything's possible.
So it's crazy that Juventus, the previous stadium where Torino's still at, was built in 1990. I mean, it was for the World Cup. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, you got teams who are playing in places that are ancient.
Oh, my God.
That they could take the concrete and throw it onto the field if they wanted to, like they do in Argentina.
No, Catania was built in 1935.
Yeah. I mean, that's common. And now you've got Juve going from a stadium built for the 1990 World Cup that was completed that year to this fight to get into their new place and moving out in when did they move into the new place? 2016?
2015. I want to say 2015, 2016.
2011, I think.
2011?
It was even earlier, yeah. Opened in September of 2011, broke ground in 2009.
Yeah. San Siro was like the most modern stadium. I'm going to say San Siro and Torino, I think, were the most modern stadiums prior to that. But
so you had the Del Alpi, which is where they were. Yep. That was what was built in 90. When they when they probably started to play hardball, they went back to the Stadio Olimpico in Torino, which is where Torino was. Then they were at the Del Alpi. Now they're back at the Olimpico. The Olimpico was built in 1933, renovated in 2006.
Yeah. And if you look at even situations where, like we'll use Milan as an example. Inter and AC Milan they have a mutual agreement. It is best for all of us. You have American and Chinese ownership. It's best for all of us if we find a path forward where we have a new state-of-the-art stadium. Milan is the financial hub of Italy. It's the New York of Italy, the most culturally diverse city probably in all of Italy. And it was, even the city was like, yeah, cool, have fun, no problem. It fell apart. The deal fell apart. They had the site picked out. They had the stadium plans picked out. I had people who were arguing with me, and the same thing in Rome. People arguing with me, oh, well, no, the stadium's like halfway done for Roma. No, it's not. They didn't even break ground yet. Like, no, they were still arguing over transportation on how far out the city was going to be. And finally, Friedkin was like, we're killing the project. It's too stupid to do this. You can't build anything new there. The cities aren't going to let you. because it's not a country of ideas. It's a country of tradition. We're talking about a country where you will get ridiculed and mocked if the cheese ratio on your cacio e pepe's off. You think they're going to let you come in and tear down a stadium it's like, no, come on. So it really is. It's almost like a ship of Theseus here. Like at some point, you're going to have to like take each plank off of it and repair it until it is an entirely new entity, Coco. It's the same thing. And that's the only way this is going to get done. And Parma so far is the only ones that seem to have the right idea with this. Camiso is playing hardball. He's playing hardball with Florence. He's playing hardball with teams in Serie A because he's mad. He thinks the system is completely set up against him. Maybe he should have taken that money that he thought he could get with the Cosmos and done something in MLS. It's the same thing Mike Piazza found out. It's the same thing that Elliott Group is figuring out in Milan. It's the same thing that De Benedetto found out with Roma. Pallotta found out with Roma. Now Freakin's finding out with Roma. And it's the same thing they're finding out in Spezia. The list goes on and on. And so Elliott is a great question, Coco, which is how long does Elliott family plan on staying with Milan? They are a vulture hedge fund. They have a payroll that is stupid low right now, considering, and they are at the moment not Serie A. They can't seem to score goals.
Nobody wants to win Serie A.
Nobody wants. No. We're gonna make this as nail-bitingly close as humanly possible.
Napoli's trying to throw it away. Milan's trying to throw it away. Everybody's trying to throw it away.
Right. We're not letting anyone score, but we are not scoring ourselves. So, what can you do?
So before we jump into a little bit of the City and the Liverpool game, I do want to touch on this because you brought up the stadiums, and I wanted to look this up. Since Serie A opened and started in 1929, there have been 83 stadiums that have hosted Serie A matches. Out of the 83 stadiums that have hosted Serie A matches, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 were built after the year 2000. I'm not kidding. Right. Cagliari was opened in 2017. Frosinone was opened in 2017. I guess Cagliari had like a kind of a temporary sort of thing that was built in 2012. So they're in here twice. It's crazy. Juve opened in 2011. Messina opened in 2004. Then you've got a few from the 90s. Regina, Sassuolo played at one that were open in the 90s.
Well, the Regina one is interesting because Regina crowdfunded the building of that stadium.
The second one, the one in 99.
Yeah, and then when they went bankrupt, Sassuolo, their arch nemesis, came in and bought it.
Okay, so that's the one from 95. Right. Regina then moved into another one, but Sassuolo took the one that Regina had originally built in 95.
From what if I remember, if my timeline is correct, yes. And so it's the ultimate insult that Sassuolo plays in a stadium that was built for Regina fans, by Regina fans, and from a call from ownership that said, contribute.
Oh, okay. No, there's two different things here. So there's Regina and there's Reggiana.
Okay.
Which are separate.
Reggiana. So
really confusing.
Yeah, Reggiana.
Yes.
Reggiana's the one that crowdfunded. Reggiana's the one that crowdfunded.
And then now they're in Serie C.
Yeah. They're broke. They're terminally broke.
Padova Stadium was built in 94. Cagliari's had a whole bunch of stadiums on this list. I don't know what's going on with Cagliari.
Money, baby. Money.
Really weird.
Money in the right place.
I guess. Salernitana. So out of the stadiums that are currently in Serie A, you got one from 17. You got one from 11. You got one from 95. You got one from 90, Salernitana's spot. Then you're bouncing down to Udinese in 76. Then you're getting down to 63. Then you're getting to Naples in 59. Then the Stadio Olimpico in 37. Then you got 33 for Torino. Then you keep going. You got 31 for Fiorentina. You got 28 for Atalanta.
Mm-hmm.
You got 27 for Bologna. You got 26 for Milan and Inter. It's been renovated a whole bunch of times,
Oh,
but
God.
still.
So many times, right?
Built in 26. That's not the oldest. You're going to Empoli, who's actually done well after getting promoted.
Mm-hmm.
They're going to stay up. 23. Then you keep going. 1919 for Spezia. Ooh, and that's not the oldest in 1919. You're going to 1913 for Venezia. You're going to 1911 for Genoa Sampdoria's stadium.
And look,
and
Venezia
that is the oldest.
Look, Venezia, I understand why people want to invest in Venezia. I do. It's one of the holy triad of tourist towns in Italy, right? Rome, Florence, Venice. Everyone goes to Italy. What are they doing? Well, we're going to go Rome, Florence, and Venice. It's going to be a great time. All right. So business people aren't stupid. They're like, oh, well, we can buy these teams in these tourist hubs. We can attract tourists in. We can build a global brand. And they buy it. And then they're like, wait, this stadium's on an island. Uh-huh.
Well, there's that.
It's not, we can't fit, how many people in here? Like a few thousand. Oh, okay. So can we build a new one? And that's what Joe Tacopina had. Joe Tacopina had a plan where he was going to build a new stadium out by the airport in Venice. They were going to have a whole thing set up out there, a whole complex, just like everybody else has pitched in Italy. Oh, it's going to be shopping around it. It's going to have all this stuff. And Italians looked at him like, huh? Like, what are you talking about? What do you mean shopping in stores and everything else? And he got nothing out of it. And allegedly, the city of Venice was like, yeah, we're okay with this. But there's a huge between Venice and Veneto. There's a huge difference between the governments, the city government and the regional government. And you're going to have, what are you going to tear down to build it? One. And two, what do you mean you're going to pitch us? You're pitching us shops and everything. If these American owners of teams want to do themselves a favor, they need to rent one of these Emirates 747 jets, and they need to load up the city government, and they need to fly them, hear me out, to Foxborough in Massachusetts, and say, look, this stadium in Foxborough, Mass. is in the middle of nowhere, right? And yeah, you're right, Coco. You can't build Truist Park in the Battery in Venice. You have to build it on the mainland. You have to. And
luckily, Toby Keith's bar shut down in Foxborough, so they can't get sidetracked there.
There we go. So, yeah, you take them to Foxborough. Bring them to Atlanta. I mean, hell, yeah, perfect example. Bring them to the Battery and say, look, this is what we're trying to do. So it's not so much this pie-in-the-sky idea. This is something that's working here. And, well, who owns all of this? The team owns it. Huh? Yeah, the team owns every brick, and stores come in and they build up and they pay rent to us. Oh, okay. Huh. Because what happens is in Italy, you have it almost like you have with Fenway up in Boston, if you've ever been up to Fenway, where somebody can walk out of their house and go walking right through like gate 2 at Fenway. And so, when you have that, it's hard to sell these cities. The idea, and in Catania, prime example, everyone's parking on the streets, right? The team's making no money off parking. The team's making no money off of concessions. The team's making no money anywhere else except tickets, like butts in seats. End. That's not you can't. It's not sustainable. So you have to find other ways of making and generating revenue. Americans are great at that, but you're competing against Italian history, 1. 2, you're competing with the whole damn country's a UNESCO World Heritage Site. And 3, you're going against corruption. So red tape, how much am I going to how many palms am I going to have to grease to get to break ground on this thing? And so you have to really look at in totality how hard it is to do business there. And American ownership, I wish to God they had called me or David Amayal or anybody else who covers Italy in depth at all, because we could have told them, look, you're kind of going on a fool's errand here if you're doing this. As much as I love it, I would buy, if I had the money, I'd buy Catania in a heartbeat. I'd be bankrupt in a year because nobody there wants to make any money, you know? So, you know, okay. So, you know, yeah, and it is. Yeah, Coco. Fenway's a completely unbelievably small ballpark. Stadio Olimpico, it's tough to get to. If you're in Rome, you know, you're going to have to Uber there. It's not a terrible ride, but just know that it's not a hop, skip, and a jump. It's on the other side of the river. So just prepare yourself accordingly. But it's, you know, as far as let's see, Milan should Coco asks should Milan be on the list of cities that's on the visit list? Look, it's the world's largest outdoor shopping mall. You know, so if what's really weird about Milan is you would walk down the street and you would be like, it's Gucci, there's Armani, Wrangler, wait, what the hell? Like you would have like a Wrangler store in the middle of like all these like high end.
That's what I'm talking about.
It is, and it's the world. But I think you should go. It's again the world's largest outdoor shopping mall. So it's not going to have the beauty of Rome. It's not going to have sort of the dreaminess of Venice. It's not going to have sort of the old timey feel that Florence still has. It's going to be, you know, it's definitely more modern. So if you can prepare yourself for that, you're going to be fine. But there's also, it's a transportation hub, so it's cheaper to get to. Frecciarossa runs out of there to anywhere you want in the north. So you can catch the train to Bergamo, which is beautiful. Bolzano, which is like a very German vibe town up in the north at the base of the Alps. So, or you can cut across all the way to Venice. It's not a terribly long trip at all. So, and if you land there, it's going to be very easy to get to where you want to go. So Milan should be on your list simply so you can go wherever you want to go. If you don't want the tourist places, okay, Sicily.
You might be biased.
Yeah, I'm completely biased. One, the food, it's the best food that I've had in Italy. What is this mess? Are you playing me off?
No.
So
you don't know what this means yet.
Okay. So what you have? Oh God, Jared's on board. So Sicily.
Go on.
So with Sicily, the seafood is absolutely unbelievable. Eat the arancini. It's a must. The food is bonkers. It's all hyper local. It's all hyper regionalized. If Florence is still unbelievably delicious. Venice, you have to dig to find good meals in Venice. If you eat anywhere near St. Mark's, when you get back home, I'm going to find you. I'm going to physically assault you for going and eating anywhere near St. Mark's. And that includes the coffee shops. Dodge it. No. So you're going to want to go to Sicily for sure for good food. And then I would stick with, Florence. If you go to if you go deep neighborhood diving in Rome, you can find some really good food. The golden rule: if it has more than 2 languages on a menu, do not eat there. Just if you go there and you're like, this is great carbonara. If it says bacon on the menu for carbonara, walk away.
Oh my days! Ha ha ha!
Yes, thank you, Big Shaq. And when you go to Florence, you need to eat bistecca. You must eat bistecca if you go to Florence. Is what it's known for. It's like a thick cut T-bone, very rare. Do not ask for it medium. If you ask for it medium, they're going to ask you to leave the restaurant. It's cooked over olive coals. It's amazing. So that's where I would go. And if anyone is seriously going to Italy and you want to know some good places to eat, DM me and I'll toss you some names of places that I've eaten myself that I would recommend. I don't just toss names out there of places that I haven't been to. Like we ended up at this Michelin rated restaurant in Sicily that is like down this alley. and the food was like, it's like the chef is like, oh yes, what anchovy? Okay, pull it out, and they start just chucking seafood on your plate. It's without question the best meal I've ever had in my life. So. Yeah, Tommy, let's make it happen. I'll do a travel show, man. If you guys want to do a travel show, I'll do a travel show.
Let's get a budget for it. Let's try to make that happen. Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah. We need Stanley Tucci's budget, and we'll be in good shape. Couple of things before we get into Ricky's question to the floor. Serie A title right now. Milan on 68 through 32 games, 6 left for them. Inter's got 7 games left. They're on 66. Napoli's on 66. They have 6 games left. Juve's still in it. I mean, they're on 62 with 6 games left, and that pretty much draws the line. Roma's 11 points back, and Jose Mourinho's getting into fights with people from Salernitana because a member of Mourinho's staff told the Salernitana staff they were going to Serie B and about started a brawl. Always good. Napoli's been crap at home, and they lost to Fiorentina at home. They've lost 5 times at home. They've been the best team on the road. They've been crap at home. Coming up this weekend in Italy, out of those teams that are still in the race, Inter is at Spezia. Milan's at home to Genoa. Napoli is hosting Roma. Well, that's not good. And Juve's Juve is hosting Bologna.
Right. Look, Milan has a problem. Brahim Diaz has not been remotely the same player. There's massive inconsistency in being able to move the ball forward, to any sort of attacking position. Leao's had problems being dispossessed. The defense is unbelievable. Mikey Magnon has been worth every penny and more that they've paid for him. So just can't score any damn goals. And Alex, hit me up. I've got restaurants on deck for you. Restaurants on deck. It's no problem. I got you. Just trust me on this. We got you. It's no problem. So you're going to summer. Wow. Yeah, good luck. It's kind of humid, but you're gonna have fun. You're gonna have a lot of fun. Let me know if you don't have any places booked either, because I know some places you can stay which are out of the way from
Nick
the
knows people who knows people. I
know people who know people, and I've been to the places. Yeah, you're from Miami. You're good. You're good on heat. You're good. I know, Alex.
All right, we got to get into Ricky's question, and then we got to talk about City and Liverpool just a little bit before we get into picks of the week. So, question to the floor from Ricky Ricardo. World Cup TV schedule came out today. What is your John Nelson, quote, clear your schedule and make sure you got your clicker, unquote, must-watch group stage day that does not include the nation you are supporting? So, as you know, the last day of the group stage has games starting at the same time, so nobody cheats like the Germans did back in 1982. It happened. You can go check it out. It was not good. Other people have cheated too. They're not the only ones, but they were the last ones, and now you've started to get into this. So let's pull up the schedule, and let's get into it.
All right, let's go.
So, Nick, you're not supporting anyone in the World Cup, so you can be completely neutral.
Completely.
Correct? Sorry. I mean, it's just a fact.
Look, facts are facts.
I'm not trying to throw shade.
Look, if anyone deserves shade, you can't win the Euro, miss the World Cup, and not be shaded to oblivion.
It's true. It's true.
Like Thanos snap.
Jarrett, who are we saying that you are officially supporting? Are you dual supporting?
No, we're going to go with America for now.
That would take that group out of play anyway. The United States, sir. You're supporting the United States of America.
Yes. But call it secondary, and it's completely dependent on what happens.
We can throw that group out though, because that's they'd have both of them.
Yeah, I could give a damn if Wales makes it, for instance. Who
cares? Scotland are in the same group, so we can throw that group out for everybody. I will also throw the Argentine group out because I am a dual supporter and I do have the Argentine support, so I will throw that out for my selection. So Group A, final day, you've got Ecuador and Senegal, the Dutch, and the hosts, Qatar. Group B, we have eliminated. You would have potentially Scotland, England, and Iran, the United States. Good grief.
If that comes
WWE
down
game.
to a situation where like Scotland is like, if we keep England from winning, then they have to go play a really difficult knockout game, then I promise you everyone in Scotland, including their mothers and their dead grandmothers, will pick up a yellow card in that game to make it happen.
Yes, that will happen. The last games in Group C, Poland and Argentina, Saudi Arabia and Mexico. That is off the board for me to select. Group D, the likely Australia, should be Australia, and Peru winner versus Denmark, Tunisia, and France. Group E, Japan and Spain on the last day, and Germany and either Costa Rica or New Zealand. Group F last day, you got Croatia, Belgium, Canada, Morocco. Group G, you got Serbia, Switzerland, Cameroon, Brazil. Group H, you've got Ghana and Uruguay, South Korea and Portugal. Ding, 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 ding. We have a winner. It's Group H. Because Ghana and Uruguay, you talk about revenge. You talk about revenge. The guy you're trying to get revenge against is going to be possibly on the field, and Luis Suarez, if you are Ghana.
Talk to your kids about the Luis Suarez Golden Boot campaign.
Talk to your kids about the Luis Suarez greatest handball in the history of handballs campaign first.
By far.
And then potentially the Golden Boot campaign. And then don't discount South Korea, Portugal either, because if you go back into history in 2002, who knocked Portugal out of the tournament in the group stage?
Nick, what happened in 2002?
No, we're not going that far. Italy's not in the World Cup, Jarrett. Nope.
I like what Alex is saying. He feels like
Nope.
Jarrett's speaking directly into his frontal
Nope.
cortex. His mic is like so
It's
lit.
bizarre what Jarrett's doing. I have no idea. I don't want to jinx it. Just let it be, okay?
I do want to ask this. Nick, support me on this, that Luis Suarez winning the Golden Boot would be one of the best trolls humanly possible in this World Cup.
All time. It would be all time. Especially if he got kick-started against Ghana. That would be...
If he knocks Ghana out
get kickstarted
of the World Cup.
That's exactly where I was going to go next, Jason. Yeah. If he knocks Ghana out of the World Cup and does it legitimately.
Well, he did it legitimately last time.
No, I mean, but he stays on the field this time.
Oh, well, yeah. I mean, okay, that's fine.
If he does it like if he does it with like a great run in the box and slots it past the keeper in the 94th minute to knock Ghana out of the World Cup, you have to build a statue to him. And you have to send him a Father's Day card.
No, the last day of Group H is the day you're watching because you've got history in both of these matchups, and that group is the most chaotic group, in my opinion. You've got Ghana trying to get revenge for 2010 against Uruguay. You've got Portugal trying to get revenge for 2002 against South Korea. Yeah, that's it. Blocking my calendar. That's what I'm watching.
I'm going to we're going to address this right now and move on. I'm going to tell y'all right now, it's a $15 headset, so don't get too lit up over this.
What's the headset?
It's weird how it's for some reason like doing things where it feels like it's in front of everybody else and like, hey, I don't know what you're doing.
Can we get the
$15 headset?
Brand drop, baby. Brand drop.
Hold on one second. I'll check.
He doesn't even know.
Unplug it and plug it back in.
He doesn't even know. And now it's probably not going to work.
Yeah, he plugs it back in. It's all broken.
Okay, it's a $15 Turtle Beach.
Turtle Beach?
Yes.
The hell's a Turtle Beach, Jared?
Oh no, man! I actually picked it up for work initially because I needed a new headset for work, and I was like, I've got an adapter to hook it through my iPhone. Let's try it and see how it works, and it works beautifully. But it's basically built with color scheme and all, like it's supposed to be for an Xbox. I don't have one. I don't care. I just needed a headset.
Well, Coco says Turtle Beach is known for their gaming headsets, so there you go.
There you go. We can move on now. I just wanted to get that out of the way. Now we can move on to soccer. Let's go.
Okay, good stuff. John, tell us about what happened in England.
Okay. Well, I'll build up to the Liverpool match, considering it was the last one of the weekend.
Okay.
Looking at the big results, Everton, after losing to Burnley, turned around and they beat Manchester United. Cristiano Ronaldo got so mad he smashed a 14-year-old kid's cell phone.
He apologized on Instagram, though.
Yeah, and now he wants to invite the kid to Old Trafford for a match as a statement of sportsmanship and solidarity, I think were the words.
No, a sign of fair play and sportsmanship.
Thank you.
That's what it was.
So, sign of fair play and sportsmanship. Hey, 14-year-old, come to Old Trafford.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Anyway.
And so Everton combined that, got that big win, and Burnley, who should have beaten Norwich, did not. And so now the margin is 4 between the first team in the relegation zone and trying to catch Everton. So in an attempt to draw them back into the relegation discussion, they just didn't show up and lost 2-0. So the margin is now 4 down with the relegation zone. Leeds beat Watford 1-0. So Jesse Marsh continues to have Leeds inch further and further away from the relegation scrap. It seems like
Leeds is fine. If anybody's trying to put them in the relegation scrap now, I think you're reaching.
And there's always that one match that we have with Southampton every season, it seems, in the Premier League, where you wonder just how the hell many goals they're going to give up. And a couple of years ago against Leicester, it was 9. This past weekend against Chelsea, it was 6. Should have been 9. I mean, there were chances that were left on the table. So Southampton had their real clunker on the weekend, and it came at Chelsea, with Chelsea being the one who put 6 in the back of the net. And then Brighton beat Arsenal by the score of 2-1, which gets us to Liverpool.
Whoa, John.
Yeah. Wow.
You listen to the show from time to time, correct?
Uh-huh.
You do know that there was a very momentous occasion in the Premier League that you just glossed right over. You just skipped over it.
Okay. Newcastle beating Wolves?
No. Moises Caicedo actually got a start and had an assist, John Nelson. Show some respect.
That is
Acknowledge him.
That is absolutely true.
Man.
And people are just sitting
I'm
there.
angry for El Mataflow.
Put Caicedo's name in your mouth.
Oh, absolutely. It's about time Graham Potter started him. You see what happens when it happens?
Yeah.
Genius.
Well, and also, that was actually a really good match. That was a very entertaining match. I watched it because Moises Caicedo got the start.
Mm-hmm.
Graham Potter, see what happens. Ratings go up when you start Moises Caicedo.
Yeah.
And you get an assist. And you win. So, props. It was a good match. Brighton was really good in it. And they get a win.
Make your correlations.
Well, I mean, look, Graham Potter's not a bad manager. And you always do this. You try to throw shade at Graham Potter and Unai Emery. For some reason, you hate both of them. Second, Graham Potter's a good manager. He just has some weird thing about playing Moises Caicedo. Maybe now that is broken.
We could hope.
And Brighton can move forward in the table. But it was a really good win for them.
Absolutely.
Now get on to the main event since you want to skip Moises Caicedo stories.
All right, so I'm gonna give you some stats here, and let's see if we can guess who the player was that got these numbers in this match between Liverpool and Manchester City.
Okay.
43 touches, 4 in the opposition box, 23 of 29 passes completed, 2 chances created, 4 of 7 wins on the duels.
Is this a trick question?
2 shots, 1 on target, kind of, sort of. Scored in both games, only player to score 2+ Premier League goals against the team that he was facing in that match this season. Who is this individual?
When he scored in both games, but you're talking about one game? I'm confused, John.
This individual is the only player to score 2 or more Premier League goals in a series against the team that he was facing.
It was not Nicholas Bentner, Sean.
No, it was not Nicholas Bentner. Kevin De Bruyne. Those are his numbers.
Because he's like maybe the best player in the world right now?
Yeah. And it's
Freddie Freeman of World Soccer.
He's not Freddie anymore. If you're a Braves fan, he's not Freddie anymore. He's Frederick W. Freeman III.
Frederick W. Freeman Esquire.
Fred Freeman. He has the very big Fred Freeman energy of everyone just ignores Kevin De Bruyne when we start talking about the best players in the world. Then you bring him up like, oh, that guy? Yeah, that guy who swings games wildly and makes amazing plays. Yeah, him? Oh, yeah, he should be in that conversation, but you always forget him, don't you, pundits?
Jared, don't bring your positive Frederick Freeman talk into the show. That's not allowed anymore.
No, yeah. He can't be Freddie. You call your friend Fred.
I called him Fred.
You can't call him Fred or Frederick or nothing. You can't bring any positive Freeman talk into this show.
His name
It's
is
not
Fred
allowed
now.
on the network anymore.
He gets his full tax name mentioned on this
Frederick
site from now
W.
on.
Freeman Esquire.
He's Fred.
It's only
he is now
Freeman
Fred.
slander on this program.
He is Fred. He's the guy who comes and fixes your AC and does a bad job.
Frederick.
He's a guy who needs to get a new agent. Is what he needs to get.
Yeah,
But anyway.
that.
We should also get going because he's started off hitting like 174 in the first 4 games.
Yeah.
for the
On the
Dodgers.
luck.
Oh, also they lost a series to the Rockies for the first time in 3 or 4 years.
Darn.
Check it out.
Darn. But yeah,
So keep going, John. Tell us more about City and Liverpool because it was a great game.
it was an absolutely great game. You know, De Bruyne scores, and then Liverpool comes back. Manchester City scores again. Liverpool comes back. It finishes at 2-2. And you know, when you looked at the quotes after the match, and this was absolutely true. Jurgen Klopp, when he was asked about it, told Sky, he says it was like a boxing fight. You have your arms down for a second and get a massive knock. You shake a little. And then talking about the match, liked a lot of things. I thought we were closer than ever. Second half start was much better. City really tried, obviously, things like balls in behind. Made sense when you have these smart runs and moments when we tried to breathe a little bit. Another one comes. Great game. And the result we have to live with and can live with because nothing changes. You're still 1 point back. And I know that wasn't this part of Picks of the Week, Jason?
We didn't have a show last week, John.
Sorry. I'm thinking the Manchester City match was 2 weeks ago. But
we didn't have Manchester City on the Picks of the Week 2 weeks ago.
okay. Well, then forget that idea. Then Pep, in response to the boxing analogy from Jurgen Klopp, said he, meaning Klopp, likes the punching games. It was a fantastic advert for the Premier League. Both teams wanted to win. Had the feeling we left them alive, but Liverpool are a joy to watch. I know how good and difficult they are. And this was absolutely true on both counts from both of these coaches. And so you've now got 7 matches to go, and nothing's changed. It's still a 1-point margin at the top. Hell of a game, 2-2.
So now in the all-time series between Jurgen Klopp and Pep Guardiola, they have met 23 times. There have been 5 draws, and Klopp and Guardiola have won the same amount. It is a complete and utter split between them. It's great for the league. You have 2 teams that are coming from different approaches, but actually imitate one another at times. So it gets really interesting. They're far and away better than the rest of the league.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Chelsea was the one who could have possibly competed with them. They haven't been able to do that this season, and this was Roman Abramovich stuff. So City and Liverpool are the class of the league, and that's not going away anytime soon. And it's not done yet now. There's, 7 games left?
Mm-hmm.
City's got a 1-point lead. Both teams have potential potholes left. I don't think either one has an easy run in. So I think that this one ends up giving Liverpool more good feelings coming out of it because they got a draw on the road. I think City needed to win to open it back up a little bit. City's got to go to Atleti in the midweek. That's not going to be easy. That's a street fight in the Champions League.
Mm-hmm.
Liverpool can walk through a home match with Benfica. Then they play each other in the FA Cup, which, again, doesn't affect the league title, but it's another game with a lot of ramifications. Then you get Liverpool finishes with hosting Manchester United, hosting Everton, at Newcastle, hosting Tottenham, at Villa, going to Southampton, and hosting Wolves. Whereas City hosts Brighton, hosts Watford, goes to Leeds, hosts Newcastle, goes to West Ham, hosts Villa on the last day.
And then they've got to make up the Wolves match that's got to be postponed because of the FA Cup semifinal in there at some point, too.
Okay, and that's got to get made up, and the Liverpool-Aston Villa one's already been scheduled as a makeup. So that gets bumped in there. I mean, both teams, again, have potholes. I don't know. I don't know if both teams finish perfect. There's going to be something happening somewhere in this. City needed the cushion, and now I think Liverpool has the momentum.
And I think that where Manchester City's concerned, I mean, you're looking at scheduling, and it's Wednesday, Saturday, And then you get a week between Watford and Leeds, but once again, you still got to figure out where you're going to reschedule this Wolves match.
But isn't it about the same for Liverpool? I don't think the actual scheduling days is going to make a difference.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's there's always that, and I don't think has it happened? I'm trying to remember if it's happened this season to date where Manchester City truly stubbed their toe on a game that was one that they should have won outright. Like,
yeah, I mean, both of them have had that, and it could happen down the stretch. I mean, I think the biggest thing that could change it is if somehow City falls out of Champions League this week, which is far more likely than Liverpool falling out. They would get days off because of not advancing, but they would be crushed, I think.
Yeah.
And Liverpool's going to advance, but then they'll have an even more crowded schedule. Probably the most interesting element of it is whoever gets knocked out of FA Cup. That's one you can weather if you get knocked out and might actually help you in terms of league fixtures. So you're not going to try to not win that game, of course, but keep that in mind. That one could get interesting. Again, City with a 1-point lead on top of Liverpool, top of the Prem. Chelsea's in third. They're good. Spurs are on 57 in fourth. They've got one more game played than Arsenal, who are 3 points back. We went through that earlier. John, do you want to reiterate your stand?
No, well, you don't want me
without breaking things.
I was going to say you don't want me to stand up because last time I did, I knocked 98.
You don't have to literally stand up. I'm asking you to take a stand, not stand.
Okay. I will take a sitting stand that Tottenham is your 4.
You can take a metaphorical stand if you want.
Metaphorical stand. I will take a seated stand that Tottenham will be my 4.
There you go. West Ham is on 51, Manchester United's on 51, and Wolves are on 49. That's your top 8. Relegation, Everton's got a 4-point cushion. Now Burnley threw away the advantage they got when they beat Everton. That was stupid.
Mm-hmm.
Sean Dyche. Watford 22 and Norwich on 21. So there you go.
Can we give props to Jesse Marsh, please?
Yes,
absolutely.
I've been giving him props. I fully support
unbeaten in their last 4.
They're good. They're not in any threat of getting relegated.
Jesse, but I do need him to drop the "woe is me" act with the British media now. Like,
no, I don't blame him. Keep throwing shade at the British media. I can support him.
Absolutely.
Keep throwing shade at the English media. I have no problem with it. If they want to call him, they want to compare him to Ted Lasso, and they want to start taking shots at everything. Yep. Throw it back in their face, Jesse Marsh. Do it.
The one thing he could do, which I think would be magnificent, is if he grew the mustache.
The stash?
Just grow, don't say another word, and just grow the stash and subtly adopt a more southern accent as the weeks go on. The higher that leads go in the table, the thicker the mustache gets and the heavier the accent gets.
Comes into the weekly press conference. Howdy, y'all.
Yeah, yes. And just dial it up. Just keep, and that is the subtle trolling that is required to finally get the English media to be like, okay, fine, all right, we're getting worked.
Do it, Jesse.
Yes, absolutely.
That's it. Because you can't be like, you guys don't like me, because they're like, and their old snobby, sipping tea, like, black tea. So no, what you have to do is you have to make it work. And grow the mustache and the subtle heel turn, in this case, the kicking up of the accent to where they realize they're getting worked and they just stop messing with you. They're like, this guy's going to clown us. Or you can start plugging things. Just start plugging things like NASCAR drivers. Whenever the victory speech, like, hey, I want to give a special shout out to the M&M, Kotex, Tampax, Budweiser, number 7 car. I think we handled, coming around the 45th minute, where the Ford really got through and started doing this thing and really pushed through and just completely botch all of it. Like, I thought we did the good thing where we dropped back there, kind of ran around, did a little bit thing, got the ball, moved it forward. Okay, move it forward, matriculate down the field, our formation. And just keep name dropping sponsors, right? Well, what are you gonna do tonight, there, Jesse? We're gonna go to Sizzling, okay? Sizzling, all right? It's steak night at the Sizzling. We're gonna go up there and we're gonna have a good time, and you're all invited. Come on.
Do they not have the Sizzler in England? They have
no, they got Sizzling.
I'm sure it's like a knockoff of Sizzler. It's a Sizzling.
Is that like the Mr. Waffle that I drove by somewhere in South Carolina today?
Absolutely. Absolutely
It's not
That's
Waffle
right.
King.
Right
it's not
there.
Waffle House. It's
No.
Mr.
Mr.
Waffle.
Waffle.
Mr.
And
Waffle.
the place was packed on Sunday when I drove up too.
It's Mr. Frickin' Waffle.
But
And it was packed. I mean, I think it was in the morning just before church. Mr. Waffle was packed.
I'm telling you, that's what he has to do. Like
be funny.
each
I could
week,
support
he
this.
just ramps it up.
Couple
By the time
other
he's done, he's Boomhauer. By the time he's done, he's Boomhauer.
couple other bits of stuff.
Come on down there,
to
Brentford. You know,
Well,
man.
hold on,
before we
where are
get
we going
completely
now, man?
the week.
Come
Going
on.
up there and get Burnley, going to try and
Come on,
shine
man.
out. You
Come
know,
on.
man.
Going on down, Cat Nacho, man.
In what's maybe been his worst season at the club level, Lionel Messi became the first player in the history of the French First Division to have a assist hat trick in 2 different games. He had 3 assists. On
Worst
the weekend.
season.
Worst season, and he's still
Worst
doing
season
absurd
back-to-back
things.
assist hatties.
Word.
Yes, Coach O, the coach of Burnley. We're going in, go Tiger. Sorry, Coach, what was that?
Go Claire.
Burnley can change the coach as fast as they want to. I'm fine with that. But Ed Orgeron probably would walk around in the snow and
Absolutely
as well,
he would.
because he might not know what's happening. Yeah.
Go Claire.
Wait a minute, go Hammer.
Yeah. Jeez. Barcelona had a weird one on the weekend. Levante had 3 second-half penalties. They scored on 2 of them. One was saved. And Barcelona still ends up winning in a ridiculous final 45 minutes. Barcelona, what Xavi's done is incredible. It's still happening. They're on the longest unbeaten run in all of the major leagues in Europe. They are now, well, they're still 12 points behind Real Madrid, but they are second. They are going to the Champions League next year. It appears they have a 4-point cushion on Real Betis. It's pretty wild. There are rumors starting to ramp up about Robert Lewandowski going to Barcelona. The cold water has been thrown on that really fast and really hard. So stay tuned with all of your El Chiringuito madness and rumors out of Mundo Deportivo. They are essentially the equivalent of the National Enquirer here. Don't follow the Mundo Deportivo rumors. You can put them on that bad list.
The breaking news Chiringuito guy is goated forever because he draws it out like a WWE promo.
Edo Aguirre when discussing PSG and the owners today or yesterday. Yeah. Edo Aguirre. That was.
There is
there's a
news.
Mm-hmm.
There is breaking news.
You're just gonna sit there and look
News.
One of the funniest rumors out there is RB Leipzig trying to hijack Manchester United's bid to get Eric Ten Hag. Thought Nick would like that. RB Leipzig are going after Ten Hag, and reportedly sources in Holland say that Ten Hag's taking their offer seriously. He is frustrated by Manchester United's failure to offer him terms. Are we back to this thing?
Oh, sure.
I did an interview and they didn't offer me a contract.
Yeah.
It's probably more complicated than that. It's not. Nobody goes into an interview and expects to have a contract offered to them at the end of the interview.
Yeah, you do.
There's more. No, they don't. Not at this
do you
level.
watch college football?
Yeah, you don't go to the interview and expect to get a contract offered.
Yes, you do. If you believe you are a certain name, you absolutely walk in and be like, "Where's my contract? Well, are we really going to discuss this?"
Eric Ten Hag's not that certain name at that level.
Yes, he
I
is.
expect a no, he's not.
Who out there is a better coaching free agent?
I'm not saying that there's not a better coaching.
Then
not what I'm saying.
you have to. Then you look.
No, Manchester United's stupid. We've addressed this many times. There's nothing to debate there. But if Eric Ten Hag thinks he can walk in and expect an offer to be put in front of him before he's even done the interview, he expects the interview to be fait accompli.
Look,
that's I think there's more to it. I don't think it's that simple is all I'm saying.
No. Because if you are in a good situation, which he has at Ajax, and somebody calls up and says, "Eric, baby, we got big things, man. We need somebody with you here to build this thing back to where we need to be. Get on a plane, come down here to Manchester."
Well, that's different. If it's portrayed that way, that's a different conversation.
But
it hasn't been portrayed that way publicly.
But
at all.
the thing is, look, I'm
Pochettino
sure people would love to go on a date with Miss Universe, but there's also depending on where you are in life at the time, the likelihood that you're going to be taking the hostess from Olive Garden out instead. Okay.
Please tell me you didn't compare Eric Ten Hag to Miss Universe.
No, that's what I'm saying. You may want to take Miss Universe on a date. However, you end up with like the hostess at the Olive Garden. You have to figure out where
Ralph
you are
Rangnick,
at the time.
the hostess at the Olive Garden?
Yeah, right now, yeah. But so, but the thing is, nothing is wrong with the hostess of the Olive Garden, Coco, but it's not Miss Universe, okay? What I'm saying is, there's not a lot of big names out there right now. So if you want the biggest, best name that's out there, you have to be willing to do stupid things like contract.
Is question though, because this is why it's
That's
not
true,
this.
Ricky. That's true, Ricky. Depending on where you are, it's a gem. Agreed.
This is where it's not. That's true. It's not that simple because Ten Hag's not the only person they're talking to, and that's a known fact. There's this other guy, Maurizio Pochettino.
Stupid.
You think?
Yeah.
You think that it's no comparison at all, Eric Ten Hag and Maurizio
For
Pochettino?
what they need? For what they need, I think there's no comparison with what they need. What they need is they need to redevelop and reinvigorate their youth sector. They need to flush out some of these bigger guys, and they need to find a way to win in a more sustainable fashion than this. Who's the best? Who's the best? It's a fire. We need to sign someone. No, that's what got them. Names like Pochettino, the player acquisition strategy that they've had has done nothing but get Man U in trouble. They need a more sustainable. That was what was how they did it before.
Pochettino's not a big name guy. He's not a guy who demands big names. He's at PSG. That's a different conversation.
But he's not someone who's going to come in and say, "Okay, I'm from the ground up.
Yeah,
we're rebuilding this thing."
No, Nick. Seriously, no, he is. He is that guy.
Okay.
No.
Right.
Go. No. Trust me, Nick. They have different approaches. They have different ways of coming at it, but they're both similar in that regard. Go back to Pochettino's work at Southampton, correct, John? Before he went to Tottenham? Am I getting the right mid-table club correct?
Yes, you're getting
okay, thank you. He was there, and he built, and he knew that they didn't have money to spend, and he built, and he went to Tottenham, and he probably held on to that team too long because he felt loyalty to him. He didn't go out and bring big names in. He'll build. Now, he'll come at it from a different approach. Ten Hag will want to build, I think. I mean, that's where he's been. Right. I would assume that's what he would do. He's going to play in a little bit different way. I'm not convinced that either one is magic in a bottle, and they're great. I think both bring good things to the table. I don't know what direction you go. It really depends on which one probably wins them over. Now, it's interesting that Leipzig has thrown their name into the mix here with Ten Hag because is the Ajax system directly a fit for the Red Bull system? No, but you're kind of going back and forth with Leipzig in this wobbly, dumb nonsense where you had Julian Nagelsmann who was evolving you. You were going past the, like 101 Red Bull. Yeah. And then you lost him. Then you bring in Marsh and you're going back to 101 and it doesn't work. And now you're going to go not back to 101. You're going to go to somebody who's going to progress you differently than Nagelsmann, but you're not going to be 101. I think it's a good fit for them, but you got to stick with it. And if he goes, he's going to get clout to get that time that Marsh, who wanted to go backwards, wasn't. Well, they wanted to go backwards. It wasn't just him. They hired him to do what he was going to do, and they got scared. Ten Hag would get more time than a Jesse Marsh.
Well, you know what else? But here's what Ten Hag would also get with Red Bull, which I don't think is getting. There's that ego stroking bit as well that Red Bull can say, we will take your strategies and we're going to implement them globally.
You will evolve our way of playing to the next step. Honestly, I think the best thing for everybody involved might be for Ten Hag to go to Leipzig and for Pochettino to go to Manchester, as long as Manchester United and RB Leipzig give those guys time to build the team the way they want to do. I think it might end up because Ten Hag, you're right. If he goes and he's sold on show up, this is the Red Bull way. You know what it is. You've seen our teams. but we want to go where Nagelsmann was taking us.
Right.
We have to go to another level for Leipzig to be up with the big boys.
Mm-hmm.
We have to be more than just what we've been.
Yep.
You're going to lead us there,
Mm-hmm.
and we're going to give you the time to do it, and that's going to trickle down to Salzburg, and that's going to go to Bragantino, and that's going to go to New York, and you're going to be global, baby.
Mm-hmm.
And you can go to Pochettino and say, look, you've wanted to come to Manchester United for a long time. We've wanted you to come to Manchester United for a long time. You're the kind of guy that's going to build from inside. You're going to build these young talents up. You're going to play a system. You're going to believe in the young guys. We watched what you did at Spurs. We're going to give you more to work with.
Can he push back? Can he build a structure, though? Can he put the building blocks in place to push back against the hierarchy, to say, nope, this is the system we're running. Shut up and deal with it.
He can say no to the job if he doesn't get the ability to do that. I mean, like, that's not something that Ten Hag can say he can do either. That's the hierarchy has to let these guys.
No, but Ten Hag, but it's the great, and it's the white whale of Ajax.
I don't know if it's seen that way in the same. I honestly don't. I'm not dismissing Ten Hag.
Right.
I think Pochettino probably goes in with more clout, because he's got a Champions League final under his belt. He beat Ten Hag's Ajax. He did it with Tottenham, but yes.
What I mean by the white whale of Ajax is that when they show up, when an Ajax coach shows up somewhere, we saw it with De Boer, we saw it with Louis van Gaal, we saw it with, the line goes, where they say, we will build the Ajax system here. And the same stupid thing happens everywhere, which is, it's boring. It sucks. It doesn't work. It's no good.
Then they pull the plug.
They pull the plug, and then, these stories come out of youth teams that are beating the top tier team because they're playing in this beautiful way because they were accepting and ran with it. All I'm saying is, with Ten Hag, I think Leipzig, the more I think about it, the more I think it's a better fit. Yeah.
It's a better fit for Ten Hag. I think Leipzig, now I think because they hired Nagelsmann before, and they knew that Nagelsmann was going to go further away from the original ideas. And they went down that road. Then they didn't fire him. He moved to a bigger club. Okay. Now you can go get somebody that is not a dramatic departure from where you are, fits into the idea, and should get the time to be able to do it. Pochettino at Manchester United, look, it could be anybody at Manchester United, and the question is, are they actually going to do what they need to do? That, who knows? I mean, who knows? With the moves they've made in the last decade, who knows? But everybody's going to have that question. Ten Hag would have the same question that Pochettino would have, that anybody else walking the door would have. Are you going to let me be me? Or are you going to throw a bunch of stuff at me and expect me to be somebody else? If Manchester United lets either one of them be themselves, they'll be in a better place. Mm-hmm. Which one gets you there faster? Which one's a better fit? I don't know. Pochettino's been in the league. He knows the league more just from direct experience. I think it honestly might end up being better if Pochettino goes to Manchester United, Ten Hag goes to Leipzig, if that is a real legit possibility.
Right.
That's fascinating. And that might be best fit for everybody involved.
And Leipzig is an org that will, when he shows up in Germany, they will have the contract ready to go for him. We're not letting them leave the building.
Yeah,
he's
because they're not in a competition with multiple people. They are. If they want to go get Ten Hag, they will go get Ten Hag. That's who they're going to go hire. Manchester United, look, they've got two different people who they seem to like. Probably best for them if the decision gets made for them, and Ten Hag goes to Leipzig.
I want Pochettino to walk away for a year, to go vacation in the south of France somewhere.
I wouldn't hate that. He did, though, before he went to PSG. So you almost get into that, you go away again. I really like, and I highly recommend, I believe it was Guillaume Balage who wrote it. It was a year kind of in the life of Pochettino at Spurs. Mm-hmm. And he had a lot of access to Pochettino and the backroom staff. It's a great read. That's why I'm really high on Pochettino. The game he believes in, the way he sees the game, the way he wants to be. Mm-hmm. I think can be a really good fit culturally for Manchester United. I think we've seen it work in the Premier League with a more limited budget.
Mm-hmm.
Can he be a title winner? I mean, there's not many people who are, because it's Guardiola and it's Klopp right now. Pochettino has as good a shot as anybody else to push that. It was Balaguer's book. Thank you, Badger. Yeah, it was a great read. And that's why I do really buy into Pochettino being able to do this and build something and really be the guy that they should have been able to find. And he wasn't ready at the time, but they should have been able to find after Sir Alex. That's what they need. They need somebody who's going to be in the blood of the club.
I think that if he waits, if he goes home and sits the year, I think there's going to be a lot of jobs that are going to open up. Juve's going to open up. I wouldn't be shocked.
I don't know if he would get into that conversation, though. I wonder if
I think he would.
He could. I wonder if the PSG thing's going to be a little bit of a stain for him, unfairly, in my opinion. But he didn't win the Champions League with Messi and Neymar and Mbappe, even though they didn't really fit together.
I think Tuchel has been the ultimate stain remover for that job, where it's like, look, PSG fired me, and then I went out and won the Champions League. Okay.
Well, Unai Emery was the one who was erasing the stain here recently, where he's like, yeah, there's 3 former PSG coaches in the final 8 of the Champions League.
Yeah.
That's not an accident. If they can't win at PSG, then that you might want to look in the mirror.
Mm-hmm. Right. And that's, and, the PSG thing, I get it. I just think that with the stress and I think he needs to step away for a year, because I'm afraid he's going to end up like Mourinho before it's all over. Not with the toxicity, but from the burnout factor. When you look at him and you're just like, good God, this man's been taxed. So I think
he'd get reinvigorated, but he's got to get those assurances like we talked about. I mean, he's got to be able to build. He's got to get 3 to 4 years to be able to build the team the way he wants and play his way. I think the way he wants to play would suit the club. It goes back to what we talked about before, like where they went with Rangnick was so far away from where they had been that it's jarring. Pochettino is different than where they had been, but he's a more attack-minded with the ball. The things you think of when you think of Beckham and Best and all the other greats that have been through there. So it would work. I think it would work if he gets the support that he would need. And I think Ten Hag at Leipzig would really work. That'd be fascinating.
Right.
We'll have to see where that goes. But that is starting to get talked about. Stay tuned on that. All right, we got to get into picks of the week because it's 9:48.
God.
Yes. Last time out, we won't go through the whole thing because it's been 2 weeks, but I won. Ha ha ha.
There you go.
Wow.
I mean, I did. Nick, you got the Poland win in regulation time correct. We all got Defensa y Justicia beating Sacachispas in the Copa Argentina.
There we go.
Everybody but Jarrett got Tepatitlan in Liga MX Expansión. Jarrett thought that would be a draw. I mean, what are you thinking, Jarrett? FC Motown and Westchester United. Jarrett thought Westchester would win. Again, what are you thinking, Jarrett? John thought it would be a 90-minute draw. I mean, are we shocked?
Well,
really?
yeah. I mean, come on.
I mean, come on.
He doesn't do promos, Sean. He doesn't do promos.
Come on. No, it's 2 weeks ago. I'm not going to do a promo from 2 weeks ago. It's not worth it. I won. Get over it. The rest of us got FC Motown, and where I ended up taking it, what separated it was I had the San Jose Austin draw at plus 250. Nick, you finished at 716. John, you finished because of the prop bet in the positive at 78.
Cool.
The prop bet was the title changes at WrestleMania, and it was 3. Jarrett and John got it right.
Ooh.
Jarrett moved from a whopping minus 372 to a minus 272 by getting the prop bet. Good job, Jarrett. Good week for the Twitch pitch. 378 in third, and I won with 828.
Nice.
Not a bad week. We all got Skindia, whatever. Where did we? North Macedonian League?
Yeah.
Because the
North
degenerates
Macedonian B League. North Macedonia.
Yeah, degenerates and such. So that now makes the all-time total for this season. John with 2 wins, Jarrett with a win, Nick with a win, and me with a win. And Twitch pitch, what you doing?
This is the promo, guys. You
Yeah,
wanted
no,
a
it's not a
promo.
promo.
That's
I'm
the
just asking.
Jason Longshore promo.
They don't have a win. The new season's been underway for a while. They don't have a win. I mean, Nick, really, what?
Right. He's the Miz. Okay.
What? They don't have a win. Like, what do you want me to do? I'm just stating facts, Nick. I'm just stating facts. John has 2 wins.
This is the promo.
No, it's not a promo, John. John, you have 2 wins. I got to win. Nick's got to win. Jarrett's got to win. Jarrett's like minus 500 every week.
Yeah, he got to win.
But he got to win. Twitch pitch. What you doing?
The promo.
What? Twitch pitch?
Absolutely. Yeah.
You picked the North Macedonian League. I mean, come on. You picked the North Macedonian League, and you picked a game. And this is Twitch pitch. I'm going to give you some advice. All right, this is the promo. I'm going to give you some advice. So, Twitch pitch. Don't just go for the crazy degenerate pick when you pick a game that is obvious which way it's going to go, and everybody picks the same thing. You waste your pick. You waste it. You guys got to talk. Little sewing circle over there. Talk. Figure out something.
Promo.
Figure out a league where you got an angle and you got inside info. Pick that one. Don't pick the North Macedonian League with like the favorite minus 1,200.
League.
We're all going to pick the favorite.
Yes.
You know? Except for Jarrett, because he'll pick something crazy because that's just what he does. Like Westchester United. I mean, really? Really? Come on, Twitch pitch. I expect more out of you. I expect more out of the Twitch pitch.
Wow.
You haven't won in like 3 months, okay? We were on hiatus for a month. This is a new season. The season started before the hiatus. I mean, maybe you've won in 2022. I don't know. I expect more Twitch pitch. With high standards for you guys. Just want the best for you, that's all.
This is where we have to get the Austin. What?
Yeah.
No, Nick, did I say anything that was factually incorrect?
What?
Exactly. I didn't say anything that was wrong.
What?
I'm just stating facts.
What?
What?
John, you got lucky and finished in the positive. You should probably shut up.
What?
No, you should really shut up.
What?
John, you need to remember something. Do you want me to remind you?
Check it out.
Yeah, there we go. All right.
Oh my God.
I mean, you want to go there? Let's go there. Let's go there. That's fine. Uh-huh. Uh-huh. Hey, things get out of hand.
Or things get into hand when he's
No. Coco. No. Hold on. Now we're starting narratives over here. Coco, I did not say that the Twitch pitch sucks. I'm trying to give you advice. You have to
He's
be
trying to give you
strategic.
strategery here when it comes
No,
to
there's no hella straight. Ricky, it was not a stray. It was direct.
That was right on.
I'm asking for more from you guys. You're wasting the picks with the crazy ones.
16 in the clip and one in the
Don't
hole.
take
Just a long
the
show about to
crazy
make somebody's turn cold. Nothing
You
up
know?
and then yelling, it's a tad bit late.
Rest in peace, Nate Dogg.
This is
The
long
best
show
on the
about to
hook.
Wow.
regulate.
The best,
a little Warren G for the show.
the best on the hooks, Nate Dogg. John, you actually knew who that was? Yeah. How did that happen? How do you know that song?
Because I'm the oldest person here and can go back in the library occasionally and know all the old stuff.
I'm so surprised you knew that. Twitch pitch. I have a good feeling about you going forward. I hope you've listened. I hope you've listened. I hope you're going to take this advice. Don't pick the North Macedonian League in the most obvious pick ever.
E-League.
No. Pick something that actually could go either way.
Favorite.
No. Ricky,
Doubling down on the weirdness.
Ricky, that's fine. Go ahead. That's fine. You're missing the point if that's where you're at. No, go ahead.
What, a minus
go ahead.
500 on the board?
No, look.
Becky Power League is up next.
Katie, I'm absolutely shook that John called out Warren G as well. But you guys are missing the point. If that's where you want to go, I'll spell it out one more time. And if you want to go there, that's fine. Pick weird leagues. That's fine. I picked Liga MX Expansión. That's cool. Don't pick the game that is 1 versus 16 in the table.
Yeah, minus 500 on the board.
Because what happens is what happened last week. Everybody picked the same thing.
Yeah, it's
You
a
lost your
wash.
advantage.
It's a wash.
There's no slander, Ricky. This is what happened. This is what happened.
So I face
I'm not
the
digging,
final
Ricky.
curtain.
If you guys don't get what I'm saying, that's fine. That's fine. That's cool. I'm trying to help you. You need picks that everybody goes in different directions.
Ricky's saying you're hitting the mantle. He says you're not even. He said you have run out of hard earth, sir. You have hit the mantle.
I'm just saying, use your pick wisely. I'll play your game. Pick whatever crazy league you want. I'll veto it. Then you'll pick something from the same league.
Didn't
it's
I do
even
that?
more of a favorite versus not favorite.
Because didn't I do the veto, and that created the North Macedonian B League situation?
I think you vetoed a North Macedonia League game and they picked another one.
Oh, okay.
You guys can do this. You have. It just has been a while.
See, last time we tried to pick a 5 versus 6, but John vetoed it. So blame John.
Oh, that's a good point. That's a really good point. Thank you. No. Twitch pitch. Hold on. Twitch pitch. I would like to apologize for the bad pick. You did follow it up, though. I mean, you do have a little bit of blame here, Twitch pitch, because you followed up with a bad one. But John did throw the veto at it. You guys got emotional about the veto. And you went with the other game.
And you went rash with a selection.
You went. He said it. He said it.
Following up what you said about the emotion of the moment, you get caught up in the emotion of the moment. You sit there and you pick something else that's close by.
Ricky, I apologize. You picked a good game. John vetoed it, but then you got emotional. Coco, you're yelling. You're very emotional. Will's always yelling. You're very emotional.
This is the promo.
Emotional. Don't get emotional. Stay level.
See, you guys are only getting this on this show. Okay, this is only happening. This is only happening here.
That's probably a good thing. I guess we should move on. Jarrett ran away because that's what he does when we get the picks of the week. Because I mean,
here we go with the number.
minus 272. What was it the week before?
We are level-headed stoics, says Coco.
The week before, we didn't even play the week before. My bad.
Listening to Meditations on audiobook, are we?
Man, he didn't even play the week before. He won the week before that. So he's got one time in the positives. He didn't show up one time, and he finished minus 50 the other time.
I've been there, brother.
Yeah. Well, he didn't have surgery.
Making picks.
He didn't have any painkillers that we know of.
I'm telling you.
All right. So I think we've learned something today. John with vetoes can create chaos, and it's bad, but don't react emotionally to John's chaos.
Nah. Move to the dark side.
Unless you're me, because then I can just tell him to leave like that. Then I can react emotionally because I got the button that lets me do that. Just saying.
Absolutely true.
Yeah. I mean, yeah.
The man who wields the button wields the power.
That's true.
Absolutely
That's true.
Mm-hmm.
We can't. I mean, if we can't move the show around, the winner gets to run the show, because we wouldn't have a show if John
you don't want that.
Forget it.
Sir.
Ricky.
A lot of people want Nick to win this week. Sean, it's okay. It's all right. I want the Twitch pitch to win sometime.
Sean, I want you to win because it's your birthday, sir.
I want the Twitch pitch to win at some point. I don't want you guys to go 0 for this season. It'd be bad. I expect a lot out of you guys. All right, let's get started. So I get to pick 2 days. Twitch pitch, you get Sunday. You know what? I will be magnanimous right here. Twitch pitch, do you want Saturday or do you want Sunday? Pick a day. Is Ricky still your captain, or has there been a coup d'etat?
Yeah, that was the other question. That's your follow-up.
I think it's still Ricky. I don't think that he had been voted out. Do you want Saturday? I'll let you have Saturday. Ricky. Okay, again, let me be clear. We have to always repeat ourselves around here just to be sure on this. I apologized because John created the chaos, but you reacted emotionally to John's chaos. You can't do that. You can't do that. And you picked a bad game.
Wow.
And it made it easier for me to beat Nick last week. So that was cool. 2 weeks ago. I'm just saying. So don't react emotionally when John creates chaos, but he can't create chaos this time because I can veto him if he picks chaos.
That is true.
If I need it there.
Yeah.
Anyway, do you guys want Saturday? I'm trying to be nice. Do you want Saturday? I'll give you Saturday.
Saturday or Sunday?
I'm giving you one further out so you can talk amongst yourselves. Oh, has it been passed? Sean is the captain this week. The birthday boy gets to be the captain?
Oh.
Okay. Sean, do you want Saturday or do you want Sunday? Somebody tell me. It's all good. Will's completely lost his mind.
Well, I thought that was normal type.
There has been a coup d'etat on the Twitch pitch, I think.
Oh, wow.
Wow. Things are out of hand. All right. So Twitch pitch has got Saturday. Okay.
Wow.
Good stuff, Captain Sean.
This is amazing.
Nick. Nick. Just saying. Just saying. Just saying. 4-card you want picks.
Try Jesus.
You know?
Don't try me.
Reacting emotionally again.
'Cause I
Things
throw
are getting crazy.
hands.
Rash decisions.
Things are getting crazy. Jeez. Just saying. I'll just sit over here and make my picks this week then, I guess. All right. So Twitch pitch has got Saturday.
All right.
Sunday's up for grabs. Then I get 2 picks. We have a consensus pick because Jarrett has disappeared.
Yeah.
We'll see where the consensus pick falls. We got lots of stuff to pick from this week. Tuesday, Champions League. Bayern and Villarreal. That's an intriguing game, although the odds makers don't.
Let's go to the other one.
Real Madrid and Chelsea. You want that?
I want that.
Real Madrid with a 2-goal lead going home. You want that one?
No, specifically the game itself, not the.
I know, but I mean, okay. All right. That's fine. It's interesting.
Oh, so which game are we going off of here?
John has jumped out
I'm
to
shook.
Real Madrid hosting Chelsea. Real Madrid comes into this 3-1.
Okay.
It is just this game, though.
Yes.
Real Madrid is a plus 150. The draw is plus 250. Chelsea to win in 90 is plus 170. So Chelsea can win and not advance. This is purely the 90 minutes in Madrid on Tuesday. Last time, we know what happened in London. It was not good for the guys in blue. Not at all. Last time these teams played in Madrid, it was a 1-1 draw in April of 21. Chelsea comes in after the 6-0 thrashing of Southampton, but they had lost 2 games prior to that, one of them being against Madrid. They lost at home to Brentford as well. They'd been on a long winning streak before that of 6 games. Real Madrid, on the other hand, lost to Barcelona, got thrashed. They won 3 in a row after that. They won on the weekend over Getafe at home, 2-0. And Gareth Bale even came in and played up top at the end of that. They've won a whole bunch of other games around that too. So both teams generally pretty hot, but Madrid has beaten Chelsea last time out in London. So Jared's not here to pick first because he was last. He ran away. He did, man.
Yeah, he just
that.
Poof.
So it is John with a pick.
90-minute draw.
Jeez, I don't have the stupid sound effect. I didn't even put it on this board. I should have.
Is
Shocked.
anybody shocked?
No,
man.
No. Oh, man, no.
Nick, what you got?
I'm not betting against Karim Benzema and my boy Carlo. I'm going to take Real Madrid.
Real Madrid to make it easy, Nick says. I am going to go with the 90-minute draw as well. I think Chelsea puts up a fight, but I don't think they can get it done. All right. Wednesday, Atleti hosting Manchester City. Liverpool hosting Benfica. That one's pretty much done. The odds reflect it. We got Copa Libertadores. We got Libertad hosting Caracas. We got Nacional hosting Estudiantes. We got the Battle of Mineiro, Atletico hosting America. We got Independiente del Valle hosting Tolima. Corinthians hosting Deportivo Cali. Colo-Colo hosting Alianza Lima. River Plate hosting Fortaleza. We got Sudamericana, a whole bunch of stuff. We got Liga MX with Chivas hosting Monterrey. We got the second leg of the CONCACAF Champions League Series semifinal. New York City hosting the Seattle Sounders at Red Bull Arena, not at Yankee Stadium.
Yes.
They're hosting it, though. And we got some USL Championship and some Copa Argentina and all kinds of other crazy stuff. Nick, you got anything you want here?
Not yet.
Yeah. The Atleti Manchester City game's intriguing. The odds aren't super close, so I don't think it's good for a consensus pick.
Yeah.
They do not really think Atleti can get the job done here at all.
Yeah.
There's nothing that falls for a consensus pick. Nick doesn't want this one, so I will put one of mine on that NYC Seattle game. And NYC comes into it. Again, this is just this game. It's not about the overall series. Seattle is leading 3-1 in the series. They are a plus 250 going into Red Bull Arena. The draw is plus 240. NYC is a minus 110. That's interesting juice boxing.
Yes.
I don't know how I feel about that. Seattle and NYC did not play this weekend. The league gave them the weekend off. Seattle comes into this 5 unbeaten after losing 2 in a row. NYC has been 4 straight losses. This is a really tricky one. Nick, what you got?
Zombie sounders are a thing, which make this very, very difficult. I am going to say that in the regional world of New Jersey, which might as well be on the moon from Manhattan, I will say that I believe NYC is going to walk out the 90-minute winner on this one.
But not advance.
But not
Is that what you're saying?
correct?
Yeah. I'm picking Seattle. I think Seattle wins it 90.
Okay.
John, what you got?
I'll go with Seattle as well. I just think that NYC has been putting up a bunch of clunkers lately, and I think and that Seattle gets it done.
All right. Thursday, Europa League. Atalanta hosting RB Leipzig. Second leg. First leg was 1-1. Barcelona and Eintracht Frankfurt in Barcelona. First leg was 1-1 there. Lyon hosting West Ham. First leg was 1-1. Rangers hosting Braga. Rangers lost the first leg 1-0. You got Europa Conference League, PSV and Leicester. It was scoreless in the first leg. You got PAOK and Marseille. Marseille won the first leg. They go to Greece here. Roma and Bodo Glimt. Roma lost to Bodo Glimt again. Jose Mourinho got hit by a snowball.
Yep.
Roma hosts the second leg, trailing 2-1 as a big favorite.
Yeah.
Slavia Praha and Feyenoord. That's a very even one. And the first leg was 3-3.
Give me Atalanta and Leipzig.
You want Atalanta and Leipzig.
Okay.
I like it. That's cool. Atalanta hosting RB Leipzig, future employers of Erik ten Hag. Very interesting game here. Again, 1-1 in the first leg. Atalanta at plus 155. Draw plus 250. Leipzig at plus 163. Juicebox purveyors are pretty much like,
Yeah.
Recent form. Again, 1-1 in the first leg. Atalanta comes into this after a loss at Sassuolo, the draw at Leipzig, a loss at home to Napoli, a win over Bologna on the road, and then the 2 wins over Leverkusen. They are not good at the moment, but they've been good in the last, couple of months. Leipzig have not lost in a long time. Now, they've got a bunch of draws mixed in here. I got to actually pull up something else to see when they last lost. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. They lost on February 5th at Bayern 3-2. That is the last time they lost. Then you got to go further back to December when they lost to Arminia Bielefeld. Now, just to keep in mind, because a draw is a possibility here in 90 minutes, they have won the last one over Hoffenheim. They drew with Atalanta. They won at Dortmund 4-1. They drew versus Eintracht Frankfurt. They didn't have to play against Spartak Moscow. They got walked over in this one. They beat Greuther Fürth, but everybody beats Greuther Fürth. They drew with Freiburg. They won 4 in a row. They drew with Real Sociedad last time. So they've got a bunch of draws mixed in. So it's maybe a little bit trickier than you think, but Leipzig's in better form. It's my pick first. It's in Bergamo. I think we're going to extra time. I'm picking a draw. John?
Just to be different, I'll go Leipzig.
You're not going to get off the fence on that? You're just going to pick something to be different?
I'm going to pick something to be different.
Okay, fair enough. Just checking.
Mm-hmm.
Nick?
I think that this is going to be a draw. Not even a draw.
Yeah, I think it's going to go to penalties. I think it's going to penalties. All right. Let's get to Friday.
Friday.
Let's get to Friday. Hey, you wanted to open that up? Well, there you go. Friday, Real Sociedad hosting Real Betis. Oh, John can still hear everything, by the way. We'll bring him back in a minute when he decides to act, I don't know, normal. Real Sociedad hosting Betis. Spezia hosting Inter. Milan hosting Genoa. Rennes hosting Monaco. You going to be all right over there?
No.
He won't answer, so I don't trust him. All right. Rennes hosting Monaco. Necaxa hosting Atlético de San Luis. Juárez hosting Pachuca. Tijuana hosting America. We got Detroit City hosting Birmingham Legion. We got Copa de la Liga with Tigre hosting Huracan. Let's see if he can act right. And
Define your terms, sir.
What's that?
Define your terms, sir.
You know what the terms are. Let's see. I've broken Nick, which is great. I love it.
You have.
Do you bite your thumb at me, sir?
I've completely broken it.
Oh,
It's
God.
great, and people, and they're going nuts on the Twitch pitch. It's good times. It's good times, and I'm getting blamed for the internal fighting on the Twitch pitch. I love it.
And Alex gave you a middle name. He's that mad at you.
I'm Eugene now. That's not
Jason
my middle
Eugene
name.
Longshore.
That's not my middle name.
That's how mad Alex is that he went full name.
He's making up middle names. That's not true.
Gave him a middle name.
We
That's
can't
not
let
true.
Ricky Ricardo get us into debt like Barcelona.
Wow.
Wow.
Birthday boy, he's firing
Oh
off.
my God.
Things have gone nuts here. This is
This
amazing.
is nuts.
It's good times. Benedict.
Whoa.
I'm Benedict now. How am I a traitor? I don't understand, Coco.
Yes, Alex.
I don't understand how that happened. All right, we got to pick something for Friday. We'll leave the consensus for Sunday because there's probably something big there. I am going to take Tigre hosting Huracan in the Copa de la Liga. Okay, so Tigre is at home. Huracan is on the road. So coming into this, Huracan played, and did they just lose? Let me make sure that is accurate. I think they just lost tonight to Barracas, which would be a kind of surprising result. These are in Group B in the Copa de la Liga. Tigre's in second. That's a huge surprise. They've only conceded 4 goals in 9 games. Huracan is 3-4-2, and yeah, they lost tonight to Barracas Central at home. That is not good for Huracan. No offense to the truck drivers team of Barracas Central, but geez. Last time these teams played, God, it's been since 2018 since they've played because Tigre's been back and forth yo-yoing. Huracan beat them the last 2 times, and it was a draw before that. Tigre comes in 3 straight unbeaten. They drew with Independiente this weekend. They won the 2 games before that over Rosario Central and Platense, the Squid. Huracan has not won since beating Boca on March 6th. It's 4 straight without a win, 2 losses, 2 draws in that. But they lost at home to Barracas Central. They drew at Central Cordoba. They drew at San Lorenzo. They lost at home to Godoy Cruz. So on the road, they're getting draws. At home, they're losing. They're on the road here at Tigre. John, you are up.
Tigre.
You are picking Tigre at home.
Mm-hmm.
Nick.
Yeah, this looks to be pretty much academic, so I'm going to go draw.
You're going draw. Home record in Group B. Tigre is unbeaten, 3 wins out of 4. They have a draw. Huracan on the road does have 5 points. They only lost 1 time on the road. I'm going to go draw as well. I think this one could be tight. I think Huracan could be trying to get a little bit of revenge. All right, Twitch Pitch. What you got on Saturday? As everybody is brawling on the Twitch Pitch. Jeez.
That's what's happening here.
You need a second and a third. Just since we have a new captain, we got to make sure they know.
Yes.
Manchester City and Liverpool in the FA Cup is what is on the board as a recommendation. Everybody else can second or third. You can throw up with other stuff.
If you guys want to go rando, Serie C has Potenza and Juve Stabia and Fidelis Andrea and Monterossi.
I mean, Coco, I generally would agree with you if somebody goes with the England game. The England game.
There it is.
I would be with that, but this is a big one.
Yeah.
This is a big one. No, Sean, you do not have absolute power. You could be revoked of your captaincy when you play that kind of card.
Look at
it.
This.
It is. I'm saying they're imploding. They're imploding. City Liverpool's a big one.
CIA Longshore over here. He's overthrowing governments.
No, Tommy, you didn't miss anything. So you've got the second and the third. Will, it's there. I've been busy trying to do things. Sorry. So is that true? Second or third? Do I have somebody else to verify? Because Will sometimes drinks the pineapple natter days. I'm just checking.
Wow.
Just checking. So can we get a backup on this that it happened? I will go ahead and start pulling this game up. Somebody back it up. If y'all can stop fighting. Nick, I mean, this happens when a team's on a losing streak, right? The locker room implodes. We've seen it happen.
Depends on how long the streak is, I would think.
Well,
one match shouldn't give you.
Okay, we got it. Thank you, Scott.
There we go.
Thank you. I trust Scott.
Oh,
All right,
wow.
excellent. Coco tried to throw Racing and Union in there, but Coco, sorry, they already got the second and the third. I'm not stirring the pot, Ricky. What are you talking about? What are you talking about? FA Cup on Saturday. Let's check these numbers. Manchester City and Liverpool. This game is at Wembley, right?
Yes.
Okay. And they don't have the trains or the buses or the anything else, the gliders, they got nothing working.
Yeah, we've heard about any kind of public transportation issues as of yet, but of course,
there are issues. But that was why there was talk about wanting to move the game because
right.
There's like scheduled maintenance of some sort.
Well, we haven't heard any resolution of it yet.
It's not happening. So you get in a car, like that's basically where you're at, or ride your bike, or it's a long way. Like I don't know what you
want to bet they push the kickoff back a half hour because of traffic problems.
I'd be stupid. I don't know. Maybe anything happens. It's an FA Cup semifinal. I'm going to go with that doesn't happen. I'm going to go with a very weird atmosphere and maybe not quite full here. I don't know who that favors. City is a plus 125. The 90-minute draw is plus 220. Liverpool's a plus 230. I don't know what to make of those numbers. Because I don't think there's a lot of separation.
Yeah.
Liverpool is plus 230. The draw is plus 220. Manchester City's a big favorite at plus 125. Last 2 times they've played, it's been a 2-2 draw. Manchester City won last February in 2021, 4-1 at Liverpool. It was a 1-1 draw the time before that. I mean, recent form, you guys pretty much know what it is. City hasn't lost in like forever. And Liverpool hasn't lost since losing to Inter in the second leg that didn't matter because they had enough of a lead. So it's not really like the same as a normal loss.
The Twitch pitch is getting the knives are out.
Jeez.
Wow.
They've lost their minds. It's crazy.
Gained the whole world, lost your soul. The world needs ditch diggers too. Good Lord.
Wow. Things are, man.
Woo. It's hotter than Reactor 4.
Man. Ricky, I knew you could see me. It was called a joke, my friend. Come on, let's turn kilo here a little bit.
Whew.
Gosh,
Oh,
people. Like y'all haven't talked smack at different points.
Y'all are roasting my Topo Chico over here, man.
Come on now. Come on now. All right, this is a tricky one. I really don't know what direction to go because those odds are throwing me.
Mm-hmm.
Nick, you're up first.
Yeah, okay. I mean, it's a crapshoot, really, right? I mean, you have two teams that are draw. Are we saying that there's going to be another draw? I find that somewhat hard to stomach.
3 draws out of the last 4 times they played.
Yeah.
Jesus. I'm gonna take.
Scott is quoting "No Fear" T-shirts now. That's.
Oh my God!
I like the "No Fear" reference. Thank you, Scott.
Oh my God!
That's outstanding.
I will take No Fear, Man City.
Man City to win. Okay. God, it pains me, but I mean, a draw seems like the play.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, Katie, a draw seems like the play. It really does. I am gonna. All right, so you got to think about what they have in midweek. Liverpool has a home game with Benfica that's pretty comfortable. City has to go into the cauldron with Cholo Simeone staring them down, possibly with a shotgun, allegedly, maybe.
Beneath the black long overcoat.
Nah, Cholo would just have it out. He wouldn't even try to hide it.
Former Catania man.
Pull the one flat back.
He'd have the salt off. Nah, he'd have the salt off. Like it wouldn't even like Cholo would get crazy. He'd have a shank in the other hand. You got to go to that.
Mm-hmm.
You do have a lead there, but it's not going to be easy. You're going to have to fight. I'm going Liverpool to win. I think it's because this week is going to get weird for City. I think Liverpool wins. I think they've got the momentum against City. They're going to feel better about the draw this weekend. I think Liverpool beats City in the semifinal. But then I think that actually helps City and they win the league.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
John, what you got?
I'll go 90-minute draw.
Why am I shocked? Why did I even ask? All right, Sunday.
Is anybody shocked?
No, man.
No.
Mm-mm.
Manchester City have arranged 50 coaches for their fans that will take them to and from Wembley for the FA Cup semi, with the club paying £35,000 to ease the current travel issues.
Well, that's very
Look
cool.
at that.
I like that.
See, I've been watching Take the Ball and Pass the Ball on Netflix.
Great one.
It's really good. And it really showcases why Xavi was the guy.
Yeah. That's one of my favorites. That's really, really good. Okay. Man, they are still getting really worked up. Jeez. Okay, let's go to Sunday. We got to come up with a consensus pick here. Twitch Pitch, you can help us do this. If you can stop fighting. Jeez.
Sean's over here. Jason and I see eye to eye on tactics, and I mean, this is
Sean.
bonkers.
You might not want to agree with me. Everybody hates me these days, so it's all good.
It's the birthday boy. I think he's going to be all right.
I don't know if he's going to be all right. This thing's gotten out of hand. Let's see. So for interesting games for a consensus pick, we got Sevilla and Real Madrid. We got Leverkusen and Leipzig in the Bundesliga. I like that. We've already got a Leipzig game.
Yeah,
Right.
coming off of the midweek, going back.
We will not do a Chelsea Crystal Palace game.
No.
That's not. We're not doing another one of those. We got LAFC and Sporting Kansas City.
Peter Vermes is going to kill somebody soon.
He might. Defense is hosting Atletico Tucumán. Hopefully the Tucumán
we have
fans
a Celtic
don't come
v.
and
Rangers.
Oh yeah, Old
Scottish Cup.
Firm is Scottish Cup.
Ooh, don't we have to do that?
That's
Yeah,
the
I think
smoke.
so.
That's
Twitch
the
Pitch,
smoke.
you down with that? Can I get a hell yeah?
Hell
Celtic
yeah!
and Rangers.
Yeah.
I want to get the support here. Yeah, okay. The captain says it's
Sure.
okay. What about the former captain or the soon-to-be next captain? I don't know. Everybody seems to be okay. I got hell yes.
Now you're
We're
getting
good.
hell yes.
We're good. We're good. Ricky, are you with me on this one? I think it is the game.
Got
to
a couple
pick for
Steve
consensus
Weisers.
pick.
What?
I mean, I'm drinking Coors Light. That's pretty close, isn't it?
What?
Oh, Ricky. Come on, man. Jeez. I'm trying, man.
Bang.
Throw an olive branch out there for you. Jeez.
Oh, Katie. Sure. I know
Longshore-
that. Sure. I've seen that one before. Yeah, sure.
Longshore 316.
What? Rangers and Celtic. This is being hosted by Celtic. It is the Scottish Cup semifinal. Celtic is a plus 120. The 90-minute draw is plus 240. They don't do anything weird with this, do they? They don't do a replay or something.
No, I don't think they do a replay.
It's Scotland. They do a split in the schedule. They could really do something stupid here. I mean, they're doing a split in the schedule because it's dumb.
Yeah,
Like, are they going to draw lots to decide who wins?
probably.
McAfee was incredible at WrestleMania.
Yes, he was.
Yeah, it was good stuff. It was very good stuff. Rangers plus 200, draw plus 240, Celtic plus 120. Celtic is hosting. Recent matches between the two. Celtic won at Rangers in April. Rangers fans threw things. They were stupid. They're on the Monday with morons. Celtic hosted last time in February, and Celtic won 3-0. Time before that, in August, Rangers won 1-0. That was under Stevie G. He's gone. Celtic comes in having won 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 in a row. Draw before that. And before that, they lost to Bodo Glimt because Bodo Glimt rules the world. Rangers.
Most dangerous team in the world right
They
now.
are, man.
But
Rangers went to St. Mirren and won on the weekend 4-0. They lost to Braga in Europa League 1-0. They lost to Celtic 2-1. They beat Dundee FC 2-1. They lost to Red Star Belgrade 2-1, but did advance in Europa League, so they won the home leg 3-0. So their form has been all over the place. But, man, they really need a win over Celtic this year. Giovanni van Bronckhorst might get run out of town if he doesn't find it. John, what you got?
I'm going Celtic.
Celtic for John. Nick, what you got?
Oh man. Get me I will go with brother Jarrett and say that it is going to be Celtic.
I am going to go with a 90-minute draw, and Celtic wins in extra time.
Okay.
I think Rangers will try to shut up shop here and be difficult. Yeah. All right, Ricky. Since you, I don't know if you gave up the captaincy or what. I missed that or how that went. Ricky, what do you want for the prop bet? You can come up with the prop bet wherever you want to go. Calm down, Ricky, and pick a prop bet. Jeez. Wow. Prop bet Ricky Ricardo. You got it. You can go wherever you want to go within reason that I can actually come up with the numbers we need to come up with. All right. Ricky's going to come up with this. See, olive branches, people. Olive branches.
Alive. This is like we're breaking bottles for the fight over here. It's like
I mean, out of hand. Jarrett left. He was smart. He got out alive.
Just think that Jarrett missed out on all of this carnage.
Chaos. Coco is suggesting one. Argentine First Division Yellows this weekend. It'd be 543 would be the correct answer.
Yes.
Or minutes that VAR wastes in Argentina, which I wouldn't be able to actually track, and it'd be 5 hours.
Yeah.
I'm not holding everybody's hands, Alex. I'm not doing it. Number of pro official corrections to the refs. They might not be done by the time we get to soccer over there next week. Ooh, good one, Ricky. I like that. Total number of MLS Next Pro shootouts this upcoming week, because they go to a shootout when there's a draw. They do the kind of old. It's not the if it was really cool, then they do the old school shootout with 35 yards.
Yes. Right, I was about to ask. Are they doing the 30?
Man, if they did that, it'd be awesome.
Gold.
Yeah,
it would be awesome. But no, they do not do that. They do a penalty shootout. So it's 3 points for a win. It's 1 point for a draw. It's none for a loss. You get a bonus point if you win the shootout. So how many shootouts? Now, let me pull up how many games that will be.
So I was trying to find
next week. MLS Next Pro, I don't know if they've gotten onto SofaScore correctly yet. Been a little difficult to follow there. I could go to the league website, but I'm on SofaScore, so I'm going to try to stay here. And no, they do not have this correctly at all on SofaScore. You're killing me, SofaScore, with MLS Next Pro. All right, let's go to the MLS Next Pro website. So the next week of play, we got, this is last week. Let's bump ahead. So this will be games between tonight and April 17th. We got Columbus 2 hosting OCB. We got NYC 2 hosting Miami 2. Romeo Beckham is killing it for Inter Miami 2 right now, leading the league in assists. Just saying. Sporting Kansas City 2, St. Louis City 2, Houston Dynamo 2, Timbers 2.
Shout out to Miami for embracing the full pink Palermo style kits with the collar. It's very nice.
Okay, we got 9 games. So how many shootouts do we get in 9 games? Last week we had 1, 2, 3 in 10 games.
Yeah.
So 9 games, shootouts in MLS Next Pro. All right, John, 9 games. How many?
Let's see. So it was 3 in 10 last week.
Yes.
So that's 30%. 30% of 9 is 2.7. So we'll round up and say 3 again.
John, did you do math?
Apparently.
I think you did it right, Nick. He started doing math, and I just kind of blocked it out because I was a little worried that
I was wanting to see where it was going to go.
Yeah, I think you got it. Nick, what you got?
4.
Steiner math promo.
4?
Yep.
I'm going to go with 2.
Okay.
You can have the same number. I mean, Twitch Pitch, Jarrett, if you don't listen back to these shows, Jarrett, you're probably better off for it. You can pick the same number somebody else has got.
Great promo for the show, Jason.
Jarrett's not listening back. Jarrett couldn't even be bothered to show up for the picks of the week. You think he's going to listen to this show? No, come on. Come on.
He's got to listen to something when he's cruising Publix.
It's true. I think he might be going to the Lidl these days, maybe.
Ooh,
he's fancy.
Lidl's bread section is
I hear good things.
Unbelievable.
Aldi v Lidl is a big rivalry in Germany.
I hear the good things.
Their bread section is top flight. Top flight. I would fist fight a mountain gorilla if it meant coming down to whether or not I could go back to Lidl's bread section.
You would do what now?
Fist fight a mountain gorilla.
Fist fight a mountain gorilla.
Okay.
I'm gonna lose, but I'm putting on for the city. That's the whole thing.
Jeez, that's kind of crazy.
Hey, you got to go hard for the things you believe in. And yes, Trader Joe's has some. Trader Joe's gluten-free bread is tops.
I need to go back to Trader Joe's. It's been a long time.
Perfect Tommy.
Trader Joe's is good stuff. Thank you, Perfect Tommy.
No matter where you go, there you are.
Yes.
Adios, Perfect Tommy.
Where you sit, you've already gone.
Trader Joe's is good stuff. I do like that. All right. So, you know what time it is.
Well, I don't hate having arms. I enjoy the sport of soccer. But yeah, I'm embracing the idea that I can have my arms ripped off and me beaten half to death with them. For the bread section at Lidl.
There you go.
Yes. We don't have the Nicholas Bentner music on the new Switch here.
Oh, thank God.
We do have
the Nicholas Bentner section.
No. Sorry, Nick. We have Nicholas Bentner stuff to talk about.
Uh-oh.
So far, not too much.
Happy birthday, Sean.
Yeah, that's true. Not too much right now. Nicholas Bentner does come up in a Eurosport article about the Atleti City game for some reason.
Okay.
Well, yeah, I'm trying to figure out why and where and how and why would you do that, Mr. Writer Man? Why would you bring up Nicholas Bentner in what is a really interesting game?
Because he can.
Yeah, but why? Like, there's got to be something.
What's the hook in bringing Bentner into this discussion, sir?
No, the Friday song's not going away.
Whatever. Retro Corner in the article. On this day 12 years ago, Arsenal went to Barcelona, and the greatest player in football history, Nicholas Bentner, opened the scoring.
Okay.
The writer's funny.
Sure.
12 years ago today, Nicholas Bentner scored a goal against Barcelona, and they still lost.
Yeah.
Nicholas Bentner comes up in an article about Nottingham Forest as well. However, fortune with forwards hasn't always been the case at City Ground, with Nicholas Bentner an excellent example. The former Arsenal, Juventus, and Wolfsburg striker came to the City Ground on a free transfer in September of 2016, and people were excited, and it was a major failure. 17 games, he had 2 goals and 2 assists. And then he went to Rosenborg. That's kind of a drop. They went into detail on this. His peak value stood at £9 million in August of 2010 whilst at Arsenal, but within under 7 years, it decreased by 90%.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, yeah.
When you ain't good.
That's true. He probably makes more. He's probably worth more in the reality TV field.
True.
If Transfermarkt covered reality TV.
Oh, man.
Yeah, I think Nicholas Bentner would probably be worth more than that. I think that might be it, Nick. You might get lucky this time. Not any direct Nicholas Bentner news.
That's because
I don't know what Wanda Mauro.
Look, he's the Toxic Avenger. The guy, what is he doing? He can't even drive.
He can't drive his own car because it's been impounded.
Yes.
Yeah, and he's been impounded.
He can't legally drive because I don't think he has a driver's license.
Somebody else failed to discuss the fact that he got dropped from his Legends League or whatever it is.
No, I think he's playing in the over 40s, like the old boys league or something.
Get out of here.
Whatever they call it in Denmark.
Clown.
You will like this though. Bola.net also talks about the game with Arsenal and Barcelona 12 years ago today, and everybody's all like, "Oh, Bentner scored first!" Well, then this little fella in 2000, what year would it been? 2010. Little fella named Lionel Messi went off.
Right.
So
Heard of him.
he avenged the Bentner goal. Did not care for it.
No,
at all. The GOAT, right? Are we in agreement on this?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm largely
I think he is. I mean,
it's hard. I don't think. I think it's you have to do like a Rushmore style thing. You can't. I have a very hard. I think he's the best of this generation. I'll put it there.
Yeah,
that's why I feel very comfortable.
So are you the guy like in baseball that will sit there and say you'll sever your generations, like Babe Ruth best in his, Hank Aaron best in his? That's how you generally look.
Right, because I can't if with basketball it's like Jordan, but Oscar Robertson existed, right? I mean, Kareem existed. So it's hard to I think you have to go generation. And to put him against Maradona is like
it's two different things.
Right. So you can't it's
I
hard
will.
That's all I'm saying. Hard for me to say.
Where I am at is the greatest career.
Right.
Is Lionel Messi's.
Yeah.
The greatest run, I don't know if anybody can beat Maradona from like 85 to 87.
Right.
You could go through the 90 World Cup if you want to go like a couple cycles. Go 85 to 90 and end it with the World Cup. I don't know if there's anybody who has done what he did in that 5-year period. We'll go 86 to 90. We'll start with the 86 World Cup. We'll finish with the 90 World Cup. He won Serie A, I think, once with Napoli in that. I think he won the second one right after this. Maybe he won the second one in there. He won the World Cup. He got to a World Cup final the next time. And Napoli hasn't won anything since.
He took Napoli to Europe, right?
Yeah.
And let me look.
Napoli
hasn't been
get the timeline.
Nothing since.
No.
They're still trying to sell Diego jerseys in Naples.
They're coming up with every Diego thing possible to sell. It's really starting to bug me now. I'm not happy about this at this point. It's too much. He did get the second Serie A. So he won Serie A in 87 and 90. So he went into the 90 World Cup with the second Serie A title. And he got a UEFA Cup in 89. So yeah, Maradona winning 2 Italian titles, winning a UEFA Cup, winning a World Cup, going to a World Cup final, winning the Golden Boot in Serie A at least once in that time, maybe twice. I don't think anybody can touch that.
Who has a run like that?
Yeah.
Because Messi's had that kind of run with Barcelona at the club level, and you could say even more, but winning it with Napoli is even more difficult.
Right.
And
Napoli
he didn't
wasn't
win
a
a World
squad.
Cup.
Napoli was not like, it wasn't like
Napoli
had
barely stayed up before Diego arrived.
Right. Like it wasn't like it, which in the Maradona documentary also on HBO Max is unbelievable. But
I think it's just like at Lewandowski, Sean says he doesn't have a World Cup.
Yeah.
And that's the thing is he's at Bayern. Like he should be winning. You know, he's got a Champions League. Okay, that's good. He doesn't have a World Cup, and it would be even harder for him if he did because Poland is not at the same level. But you're talking about 2 World Cup finals, winning 1. You're talking about 2 Serie A titles that nobody saw coming. And you're talking about a UEFA Cup title. Like, the only trophies Napoli has outside of winning Coppa Italia 2 times before and 3 times since, and the Intertoto Cup and a Serie B title. Like, that's all they've had since Diego... with Diego not there. Like it's incredible what he did at Napoli.
Imagine somebody coming in and taking Brentford to the Premier League. Like one player coming in and taking Brentford to the Premier League title, then winning Europe.
Ricky, we've talked about 2 people. Calm down about Cristiano Ronaldo, but he doesn't fit here either because he doesn't have an MLS Cup. That'd be awesome if he did. He doesn't have a World Cup. He does have a European Championship.
Yeah. He's in the combo. He's in the combo because
in
of
the
the
conversation because of that. But you got to find a 4 or 5 year period, and you'd have to do it with the European Championship.
Mm-hmm.
He won titles at Madrid. That's not the same degree of difficulty as Napoli.
Oh no, not with that squad, especially with that squad.
Winning the Euros is really impressive. That gives him a lot in that.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't think it matches what Maradona did in his time. You could argue it's better than a 5-year period of Messi. Okay, you could argue that. I don't think it's an easy one, but that's very similar.
Mm-hmm. As
a career, I think Messi's got Ronaldo. Oh, jeez.
Yes.
They're still going. I think Messi's got Ronaldo, but Ronaldo's absolutely in the conversation. There is no way around it. You cannot like the guy. That's all whatever. As career greats, Ronaldo might be the second.
Again, I know everyone, I see the names are getting thrown out there, but I don't think people recognize how bad Napoli was when Diego, the whole footballing world was like, he went where?
Yeah.
Why on God's grace? Seriously, it would be like going to Southampton or Leeds right now.
Yeah.
And being like, hold up, why in God's name are you going there? And then in a very short time, Leeds, or we'll say Leeds, winning the Prem. Like, what on God's green earth? Like, that it's a beam of light from above to make that happen. So,
Ricky, I'm not saying Ronaldo.
Xavi, I agree. And look,
and
Scott,
Xavi is an interesting one that Scott brings up.
Yeah.
I don't think it's the same because even that run where he got 2 Euros and he got a World Cup, that's incredibly impressive.
Mm-hmm.
But you could talk about him. You could talk about Iniesta. You could go a few different directions. And Barcelona, the success there isn't the same because, they won a Champions League, 2 years before that started? The last title for Rijkaard. So it's not the same as Maradona. It's not the same probably as Ronaldo if you take his best 5-year period. Mm-hmm. Maybe the 5 years with the European Championship ending it. I think career-wise, it's Messi. I think Ronaldo's in the conversation. Pelé's in the conversation, but he didn't go to Europe. He didn't play at the same
Right.
level, although it was a very different time.
And Brazil screwed Pele.
Yeah.
The Brazilian government screwed Pele because they would
Yeah,
not
it's a
let him
complicated
leave.
one. It's a complicated one at the time. It's hard to compare.
I get it. Yeah. And there's a lot of stuff with Pele that's anecdotal. We're not going to ever be able to see, but we have
insane greatest. He's got one of the greatest careers for sure. Maradona, you don't really get to this level with the greatest career. And I love Diego, but he got into a bunch of other things, and he didn't have a good run at Barcelona. He won a Copa del Rey. He was before that. He won an Argentine title with Boca. He doesn't have a lot outside of that run with Napoli, and that was at just such an incredible level. Like, I would say that's as good as it gets for a 4 or 5 year period. Mm-hmm. For a long career, I think it's Messi. I think the Copa America kind of seals it for him. If he gets a World Cup, then it's no question. If they win this time around with the World Cup, it's no question to me that Messi's the greatest career. But you can argue GOAT a lot of different ways. And then it gets really hard to compare. What about defenders? What about guys like Xavi and Iniesta who aren't scoring all the goals, but are incredibly talented players? What about a guy like Zidane? I mean, you can go through a million different places and pull that. But I think Messi, if he gets a World Cup, it's not a question at all for me. I think he's got the greatest because of the Copa America and everything else he's done. But he doesn't have a 5 year period that matches up to Diego's. He just doesn't.
Right.
That's where I'm at.
See, I know I took us on a fun tangent. I just had to throw our man in there because that dude, and he did it and he didn't do it while taking care of his body and all that. I mean, he did it on 4 pounds of cocaine and
that last one in Italy.
Italian food.
The first one, I can't argue at all that Maradona had the greatest maybe year in footballing history, where he wins the World Cup and wins Serie A with Napoli.
Yeah.
And he was a machine. He was maybe a machine off the field to a degree, not so much with the drugs yet, although it was there.
Yeah.
The women is a whole different conversation
because
he had already had a love child by this point. But the drugs kicked in later. That year where he wins the World Cup, comes back to Italy, and wins Serie A with Napoli, I don't know if anybody can top that. With 2 teams that were not expected to win. I don't know if anybody can top it. And he carried him like a maniac in those things.
He put the whole,
it's insane.
City and a country and 2 countries on his back at one time. Because everybody was happy to see, everyone in the South was happy to see Napoli get the run and go. So
absolutely insane. And they're still going.
Yep.
To finish the Bentner Messi thing. So Bentner did score the opening goal in that game. That gave them the aggregate lead. Then Messi scored 4 and Barcelona won 4-1 on the day, 6-3 on aggregate. Wow. That's pretty good.
Yeah.
We did have a request for a Mauro and Wanda update. I haven't seen anything about them in a while.
Nope.
I haven't heard anything outside of our boy Barco getting busted for sliding into the DMs.
I kind of wonder if that's old. I really do, because they hacked her Instagram. It could have been old stuff. Who knows? I mean, there's no telling.
Barco, if it's old, Buddy was going on a run. That's all I'm saying.
Anyway.
Hey, hold up. Hey, she's cute. Oh, she got a man? Hold up. Oh, she does. Okay, hold up. I'll be right back.
I don't really see anything on these 2 right now.
Active and discipline.
Merciful.
When's the last time that Mauro played?
A while?
What's the deal with him right now?
I have no idea. Look, everything I've said about that man has come to fruition. The man is a puppet. So he's nothing without Wanda, because Wanda has been like this for his career, and he's a puppet. He's nothing. There's nothing happening upstairs with that man.
So in the last 5 games that PSG's played, he's appeared in 1, and he's played 21 minutes.
Right. He's a bum. He is a bum.
He's registered a lot of on the benches for PSG.
Right. Nobody wants him. Look, nobody wants him. He was offered. He offered himself to Juve. No, he offered himself. He's burned every bridge with Inter. There was rumor of him coming to Milan. Nope. No one wants him. He's like, if you know how, like in the sci-fi movies, you open up the airlock, right, and you get sucked out into space. If you pull all the crap out of his ears, you get sucked into the head cavity because there's nothing happening there. It's negative pressure. He's an absolute brainless nut job who was governed by, I mean, call it whatever you want, brilliant psychopath in Wanda, and he was, and that's exactly what happened. He's a bum.
So
He's wasted it. Look, the Argentina got it right a while ago, and when they said we're not calling him up, and everybody was like, "Why'd you call him Mauro? Why? Why
give
would
me one
we?
reason.
Why would we?" And everything that Argentina said when Argentina was getting a ton of flack for not calling him up, bore out at Inter. And then when Inter benched him, everybody said, "Oh my, you're benching one of the best strikers in the game. Why would you do that?" And I don't like Inter, and I'm like, that's a brilliant move, not because it benefits us, because the guy's a flipping knucklehead. I mean, he's like sitting there drinking Drano recreationally on the weekends. Like, the guy needs to, he needs to, don't come to MLS. I don't want Mauro Icardi in MLS.
No.
Send him to like Chinese Super League, send him to Indian Super League, send him to one of these like old man tours where they travel around and play whatever. I mean,
he's not an old man yet, but
yeah, I don't care. The guy needs to, I mean,
he's 29.
Yeah, he's sniffing white out. Get him out. The guy's a bum. Nobody wants to take on that contract. At least Gareth shows up once in a while. Okay, Gareth, buddy, we got a big game this weekend, okay? Go get the back nine in now, and we're going to play you on the bench. We're going to let you come in and play. Yep, okay, great. Whatever you just said in Welsh makes perfect sense. Back nine, and then you come and play. Okay, great. Fix the ponytail, too, when you're at it, the extensions or whatever you got going on there. And then he comes and scores. Great, bully for you. But Mauro Icardi, there's nothing happening up here. He's a science experiment. How long can the chicken run around with his head cut off? That's Mauro Icardi. It's running around like a kung fu movie, blood spraying out, this chicken body just running around.
So all I got on this one, you do have, I guess Wanda went back to Argentina.
He's not even good for free kicks anymore. He's not even good for free kicks anymore.
He's not on the field.
Yeah,
he's got to get on the field.
I wouldn't trust
taking free kicks.
When he was oh man, I almost said something that got us in big trouble.
Be careful.
When he was tight with Wanda, because he was able to put things together because this and the rest of this were remotely in line. Without Wanda, no, there's nothing there. There's no psychological crutch for him anymore.
Maybe we know why he hasn't been on the field lately, because you've got two things going on. It looks like Wanda went to Argentina alone. And you have a radio station. You know how the radio stations have like the entertainment news things on their Twitter accounts and their social medias. Translated, an expert in nonverbal communication analyzed Wanda Nara's gestures after her arrival in the country. Quote, she is not doing well with Mauro Icardi. Oh, whatever. The body language expert tells us that it's not going well. And you want to know why it might not be going well?
Why?
Well, there is, I'm just going to read this to you from, this is from an Italian, possibly tabloid. I'm assuming it is. Translated to English, the serenity of the couple formed by Wanda Nara and Mauro Icardi is again in danger. Dun, dun, dun. Rumors of betrayal by both have always circulated, but this time the third wheel has a name. Agustin Longueira, who is a former a former bodyguard of Wanda Nara, who is no longer in service, they say, due to the strong jealousy on the part of Mauro Icardi.
Which makes sense.
And the bodyguard went on Argentine television to talk about it.
Oh, no.
Socios del Espectáculo. Yeah.
No.
Always the bodyguard, Coco.
Bodyguard went public.
The bodyguard said that nothing physical ever happened. But the bodyguard did say, Wanda is a very attractive woman, and I confess that I would have liked to have had something different with her. And then this is the dumbest sentence I've ever heard from a bodyguard. The 2 times we were alone, especially in the elevator, were very long minutes. That's what he said.
Wow.
The bodyguard went to Argentine TV to talk about how he thought Wanda was attractive, basically, and spent very long minutes with her in the elevator.
Yeah, because you're going from the penthouse down to the garage. Of course, it's long minutes.
I don't think that's what he was getting at, John. I'm just gonna take a guess at the bodyguard was. I'm gonna go with the it's verbal communication. I'm gonna go with the translated hidden meanings, and I don't think that's what he was talking about. Was the length of the elevator ride?
What's that man's name again?
Agustin Longuera.
Yeah.
Agustin Longuera.
Oh my!
That's why she's got the bad nonverbal communication when she arrives in Argentina.
You think Mauro, the brainless puppet, is going to be performing well with that happening?
I knew we'd get Gustavo.
Gustavo.
Wanda has a TV contract in Argentina. She's very busy in a very important hotel in Buenos Aires, allegedly. Icardi ruined his life and then with and without her. Yep. It has gone full Gossip Girl, Alex, because we had the suggestion of going Mauro and Wanda, and I didn't know there was new dirt on Mauro and Wanda.
They are far more interesting than the Toxic Avenger.
Well, I'll tell you what, we'll give it a run. We're not going to give up on Bentner. We're still going to check in on old Nicholas because that reality show is probably coming back with a new season here shortly. But we will check in on Wanda and Mauro, and we'll see where the nonverbal gestures and communication's going.
The brainless wonder.
Just saying. Bentner's old news until he does something stupid again. And he will. Give him like 5 minutes.
Look, I'm trying to keep the show fresh. I know that Jason is out on his Bentner jihad because of Friday. I understand that. But we must do what's best for business. And that means it's Mauro and Wanda. That's
Scott, you are correct. Life with the Icardis will be your legacy. That is true.
That is. Scott,
Will, it has not been 4 hours. We started late, so it's only been almost 3. And that's probably a good sign that we need to go.
Yeah.
Mauro,
I got to go to the grocery.
Oh, there you go. Well, see, now you're going to the grocery.
You're going to meet Jared at the
you're going to meet. Mauro is a much more plentiful source of
true
cocoa.
No doubt.
Oh, Katie comes in and says, "No, this was my idea."
Okay.
Now we have another fight on the Twitch pitch. Man, I'm getting out of here. I'm not fighting Katie.
I'll tell you one brief story about Katie, and I don't know if she's going to tell the story, but
I'm not fighting with Katie.
All right, let me tell you something. Katie's the last one. I went to war in Iraq.
Katie, I got the button really quick if I need to dump.
I was in bar fights in Buckhead all in my 20s. Katie's the last one I'm fighting with. At the neighborhood pool, they had this thing where you had to fight. They threw a watermelon in the pool, and people had to fight to get it, right? And that was the whole thing. And Katie was the one. Was if I recall correctly, the one woman who jumped in the pool, and she was cleaning house. Dudes were coming in and Katie's in there it was like the Annie Up, the Annie Up video. Katie's in there Annie Up, grabbing a hold of Nope. I want none of the beef.
You should be scared.
None of the beef with Katie. If Katie came up to me and said, "Give me your wallet," yep.
Nothing in it but here.
I'm waiting for a response from Katie at this point.
She just said, what? Look, it is what it is. I'm not lying.
She might attack you at the grocery store.
I believe it's time to go.
And then she has the tennis racket. She'll beat you half to death with a tennis racket, too.
Jeez.
She's good.
Wow.
I'm just letting you know. Wow. Did Jeff get his eyes fixed, Katie? He's good too. His ankle kind of got a little wild.
So Katie is clarifying it was a greased watermelon.
Greased watermelon.
What was in a
cleaning
right?
house?
Wait a minute.
Cleaning house. It was like the people in the neighborhood was like,
I'm confused.
when the fights happen, she's the one you need to call.
Okay.
I'm just letting you know.
Well, I'm gonna let the Twitch pitch sort itself out. Good luck with that. Oh man, Sean.
Katie Weaver would have
This is getting out of hand.
a statement there, Sean. I'm just letting you know.
Y'all fight it out. John
Charity
is
match.
officially afraid now. He's terrified.
Get to the Discord, y'all.
Nick, send us home.
All right. She'll yell at you in German too while it's happening. So I'm just letting you know. For everybody out there, thank you so much for tuning in. The Twitch pitch, y'all are beautiful. I love you guys so much. Okay, all right, let's heal the division. All right, we'll have a song or something. But in the meantime, I'm just letting you know that Ricky Ricardo, right? Sean, happy birthday. All right, I have a great one. Until next time, everybody, be kind, be friendly to each other, and in the words of the immortal Dr. Claw, I'll get you next time, Gadget. Next time. Woo!